there we go. And we're live. Let's pull a microphone over here. That as the men make their way up the stairs, I'm over here getting ready. So welcome everybody. Oh, I guess I gotta pull up, let's see, I gotta pull up some chat over there. Still got a minute. There we go. Very nice, very nicely done. I do like that automated setting over there. Pop that down. I'm gonna pop this up. Where's that at? Oh, okay. We're gonna pull all that over there. We're ready to go, gentlemen. And let's see. Yeah. We're good to go. This is my brain. I'm Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Patrick Acton is on his way upstairs, and Taylor Vincent Gibbs. You can see him down there at the bar. They're getting ready to make their way. And I will pop up the chat over here, and everybody can let me know how it's sounding out there. Positive comments only. I like to say to a lot of people, you know, I don't get on your stupid channel and make noise. I'll get on your channel, but I'm saying I don't get on there and say negative shit, you know? There we go. And we got 3. Looks like we got some people watching in there. We're going to check that out. Do. It is quite loud. Let me know how the sound's going. Oh, yeah, that's real loud. Ah, okay. Now we're good. All right. We got a few things ready to go here. And Patrick's made his way up. And I see Vince disappear there for a moment. All right. We are ready. This is my brain. This is how my brain operates. Vince is right there.
Are you sitting here?
Yep.
Okay. Ta-da!
You hang those up. And that's the, Tanya.
What?
This is the oceanvodka.com.
Okay.
If you go on there, right at the bottom's the recipes. And so we can modify those. I was looking at that one.
Thai berry?
Yeah, but it's okay. Whatever you can find. All right.
Oceanvodka.com?
I'm in.
All right, Patrick got your ears on. Vince waiting for his ears. This is my brain. I'm Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Patrick Acton. Taylor Vincent Gibbs.
Hello.
Tanya Gibbs just left to go downstairs and check on a few things. And oh, that's why my headphones cut back. Ah.
What?
I'm sharing the headphones with you. They were like really loud. And then you plugged your headphones in. I'm like, oh, okay, cut back. Yeah. And there's Bubby coming across. I think we're good. Let's see. I'm just going to fill this up because you guys haven't been filling out. But we got to pick a...
Can you turn me down a little bit?
You're loud?
My ears are loud.
Does it have a thing on it?
No. Not for volume.
Ah.
Just mute and unmute. Mute. Like when CNN comes on, mute.
Yeah, like whenever you're in an airport. Does that sound better?
Boycott.
Boycott, mute.
Mute.
So today, February 15th,
Yep. Halfway through the month already.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? It
I
just started.
just wrote it in the wrong spot.
Did you turn these down at all?
I did.
Still a little high.
Boys' night in.
I think if you yelled in your mic, it would hurt my ears.
I'm not going to try to yell.
See, that was like.
How about that? Maybe you should get up to your microphone.
Can you hear me?
Is that better? Can you?
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mom got on a plane today, so we don't have Mom here.
Yep, she's on her way to Arizona.
Yeah.
She's probably there already.
We told her, she's like, well, I'm getting off the plane at 10 o'clock, so I might miss the show. Well, I'm like, 10 o'clock.
10. Wow, she's got to stop somewhere. Then.
No, I was like 10 o'clock our time or 10 o'clock their time.
Yes, 8
that
o'clock.
means it would be 8 o'clock our time. So she said she would try to tune in, so we'll see. So let's get started. I switched it up, Patrick.
It's always, see, I always think about food, so. And of course,
a bug flies right through as you say that.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Suck that thing out of here.
Right.
But, no, dinner. See, when we broadcast, we usually eat well beforehand so that nobody's got a grumbling stomach and our minds can think well. Something funny about, our stomach is connected to our brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be able to have that thought process going.
That's right. Yeah. It's important. But dinner was freaking awesome. It was a treat tonight because we had kebabs.
Kebabs, yes, absolutely.
Did you make the kebabs?
I did not make the kebabs. They were purchased for us by Mr. Tom Brady.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. The Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, so he bought us steak kebabs and the chicken kebabs. There was 2 packages of 2, and he brought them. So Tom Brady, he's one of the owners of Jim Brady's, which was his grandfather, and he did it in his namesake. Jim Brady's Detroit, out of Ann Arbor and Royal Oak. Tanya and I have eaten at the Royal Oak facility. Phenomenal, just phenomenal.
What's it called? The Royal Oak one?
Jim Brady's Detroit.
Jim Brady's.
Jim Brady's Detroit.
You remember that place where we ate ribs that one time? That was some football player.
Was that over in Royal Oak? That was over in Royal Oak when we were working on the...
Yeah. Preschool?
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, so Tom is one of the guys that I play hockey with, but he's more importantly, he's our or 4 or 5 in the band. He's our 4th guy, 5th guy, because Matt and Tom are filling in those 4th and 5th spots. And as it happened, Wojo's still on the mend from having surgery, so he wasn't drumming, and Chicago messed up his schedule, so he was actually in Florida.
Yeah, he's down there getting drunk laying on the beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he wasn't here, so it ended up being me, Tom, and Matt jamming out for the Super Bowl party. And as we heard, that the Super Bowl party was, or the Super Bowl halftime show was quite horrendous. We turned off the screen because we didn't want to copyright bullshit while we were playing. Yeah. We had the audio off, of course, but we didn't want, if they picked it up, to like no unauthorized rebroadcast. Fuck you! I don't want to rebroadcast your shit in the first place.
That's right.
Yeah, rebroadcasted blue screen.
Okay, I was wondering why you didn't have that in the background.
Yeah, and then we had somebody. Yeah, we had somebody checking it because we were.
I was running the camera, so when I turned it back on, I had to switch to that camera down there.
Okay.
Because it's this one or that camera.
Oh, we were still playing songs. Yeah, that camera was picking us up.
You guys were still jamming when I turned it back on. Yeah, so I had to switch cameras.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to need you. That camera's still in the position it was for Super Bowl. I didn't switch it. So the camera behind you, I need you to
turn it around.
It's supposed to be on you.
Spin it. Yeah, it's supposed to be on us. I got it on table shot, so I haven't noticed yet, and I just realized. I'm like, that's still actually pointed at the band.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, anyways, Mr. Brady, we did the chili cook-off for the Super Bowl party, and no, just spin the pole, just spin the whole thing. Yep. There you go. And now, that's zoom out just a hair, just a drop. There you go. That's perfect. But Mr. Brady, as he always does, he likes to come and contribute because, when he comes here, I feed him pretty well. if he eats. If he does, but a lot of times he doesn't eat. But he loves coming here, you know. And so, and I love him coming here. It's a man love fest, and he jams out. Anyways, he brought these kebabs, just like he knew we were doing a chili cook-off, and he wasn't making chili. You know, he runs the restaurants, so he's pretty tight on the weekends. And but Sunday afternoon, he's like, all right. And so he showed up with these kebabs, and I looked in the fridge yesterday, and I'm like, where the hell did these come from? I didn't realize, and yeah, I found out. I'm like, yeah, the old Tom brought them. I'm like, well, hell, I'm cooking them for the show. So they were these really awesome steak kebabs. They were just marinated steak kebabs with peppers and onions. And then the chicken kebabs were actually a Mediterranean chicken kebab. So those has a different flavor. And when I put them on the grill, I heated up the grill for about 20 minutes outside and got it to where it was, you know, good 650, 700 degrees. Yeah. And like I normally do, because I love my infrared grill. If you haven't cooked on an infrared grill, and what that is a grill that, it's a grill that doesn't have an open flame. So it's got the grill grates. Everything's grill. You get the grill marks and you get the grates, but it doesn't have the open flame for it. So when I'm cooking burgers, when I'm cooking a lot of things that will flare up, I don't get the charring other than the grates. Yeah. I just get the intense, the hot heat.
Well, what is it? Is it like an electric type thing?
No, it's a regular gas grill. But the way that it's set up is the grates are not open, so all of the heat gets channeled into the metal of the grates in the grill. Okay. And then the whole chamber gets, so the chamber is convecting the heat, but the grates themselves. So what I get every time is a great searing. You've eaten here. Oh yeah. A lot. Yeah. And so when I throw steaks on there, when I throw chicken on there, when I throw pork chops on there, or brats or whatever, they sear immediately because it's so hot. Yeah. And then that seals in all the flavoring and the juices, and then allows it to cook because that searing's on, you know, it seals up that outside. So I love an infrared grill. If you haven't cooked on an infrared grill, I've cooked on a few other grills. I got chops one time, or not chops. We went down to the local butcher and had them. I said I want some inch thick ribeyes, bone in ribeyes, and which is close to a T-bone, but not with the other side. Anyways, the guy cut them nice and thick and everything like that, and I cooked them over at my buddy's house, and I was just I'm like, dude, I should have grabbed some aluminum foil because I was getting so much flare up. Because normally you want that fat to caramelize. But it was dripping down so much that the flame was just getting it. It was just flaring up fire. And I'm sitting there with a spray bottle putting out fire, and I'm like, you know, then you get that burnt, you know, not a char, not a good flavoring on it. You get that smoky blackness on it. That's not an actual char of the meat. So anyways,
arsenic,
something like that. Anyway, so we had steak and chicken kebabs.
They were awesome. Yeah, that with tortellinis, cheese tortellinis.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the a little bit of pasta with it.
A little bit of pasta.
And then the mushrooms is kind of a staple. I mean, no matter what we have,
gotta have the mushrooms.
We have mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and then you brought a salad. You become the man of the salad, and I love it.
Yep. Every time I come, I got salad goes with just about everything.
Oh, check that out. Jeff's in the chat. Minta's in the chat, and Mr. Al said thanks for the agave. You remember when we did the shots? We were doing a number of different shots of tequila, and I pulled out the bottle of agave, which we've done on the show, and I absolutely love it since we did it. So we went to Brighton Market today, Vince and I, to pick up our vodka of the night, which we're going to do a little later, the Ocean's vodka. And I got there, and I was talking to Tracy, and I said, hey, you got any agave? And I went down the aisle, and she said, there's one bottle. And I was like, okay, and I grabbed it and threw it right on the counter, and then I'm like, you know what, Al might want to pick this up, because I could have paid for it today and then given it to him tomorrow at hockey. He's like, nope, I'll be by. I'm like, all right, stick it behind the counter. So, yeah, that is some phenomenal tequila and cognac It's whoever decided to do that.
Well, it's tequila, but it's also it's a sweet
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, you get the vanilla and the lemon peel, really thick overtones, especially if you keep in the freezer. Al, I keep mine in the freezer. Put yours in the freezer, buddy. That's where you're going to get some of the best taste out of it. So, so a good salad, kebabs, some tortellinis, and some mushrooms, of course, because we like to eat good here. We're about ready to launch the cooking show. I actually taped some cooking the other morning. My mom, Leslie, who's been on the show, Mom and Leslie, and their friend Annie, who's become a staple around here. She's been posting a bunch of, if you guys seen on Facebook, on some of the 3OF page on Facebook, she's the one that's been posting. I made her an admin or whatever. She can post shit. But she started coming about a year ago, and she hasn't made all the parties, but she's made a number of them, and when she's here, she's just going to town with her phone. Well, we got a camera. My buddy Mike Jane was given a camera, and he wasn't going to use it, so he gave it to me. It's an older Canon, but it's good. I had to get a memory card, and then I had to get a memory card reader today because it wouldn't pull the stuff off the camera without me jumping through a bunch of hoops on Canon's website. Dumbasses. But anyways, we got that, and Annie said last week at your birthday party, she said after the next morning after the Super Bowl, I want to cook for you guys. And you got tied up with work. Of course, it was back to work Monday, and you couldn't do it. I was quite wiped out. Vince was wiped out. And Mom and Leslie and Annie had stayed over at Walden Woods. So they cruised over about 11 o'clock and made this big breakfast. And we videotaped the whole thing, about an hour and a half worth of stuff. We'll edit it down and everything like that. But that may be one of the first episodes of the cooking show. So it was a lot of fun. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, you've got some recipes you're going to bring to the cooking show.
Yes, I do.
And it's a bit of a different format. It's more of a... I had some great dialogue with Annie. Learned a lot about her. She's from Texas. There was just a lot of stuff. Just learning her culture and heritage, being Latino, but she's just learning about stuff. And I asked her a ton of questions. You guys will have to watch that episode when we get that channel up and running. I want to get a couple more recorded and in the can before we launch that. But one of the other things we did launch was the Man Cave Makers channel. So we're going to preview that here a little bit later. But let's get into some disclaimers since we did. You have anything more to say on dinner, or we're good?
Oh, I'm full.
You're stuffed.
Yes.
Right.
We ate well. We always do.
Yeah. I even ate light, and I'm like, yeah, that was good stuff.
It's just strange. I mean, I'm sitting here. I see mine over there, but I look around for the other ones, and they're like, they're gone. They're like,
remember, I got to pull them up now.
I know you moved them all the way down there.
I got to do the. Let's see.
It's fun to read off of them.
It is fun to read off because we got to twist our head around and all that stuff. Yeah. But I changed it up. I changed it up for all of us. Mm-hmm. Man Cave. That's Man Cave displays. No. I gotta find my folder. Thanks. I gotta figure this out.
Oh, no problem. You
yeah.
Get to it.
Yeah. So, anyways, pictures. There we go.
You know what I just thought of?
What'd you just think of?
I don't know.
I forgot.
No, I don't know if I should reveal it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking we could do a Man Cave Makers video, right?
Yeah.
Is that a helicopter?
Of what?
Is that a helicopter?
Yeah. No, it's Tanya's car. She must be doing something. You hear noise. We do hear helicopters out there periodically. So the question is, what do we want to start with?
Whatever you pick up. There you go, John. I'm down for John. Yeah. It's an easy one.
That's an easy one to do.
The Duke has a lot of power behind this one when he says, "Never apologize, never explain." It's a sign of weakness.
It is a sign of weakness. It's a sign. Yeah.
So Joe Rogan needs to be. That should show up in his mail.
But he did come back and say he wasn't going to. He wasn't going to do that again. He wasn't going to apologize ever again.
Yeah.
So that's good. Let's see. Notice this place is politically incorrect. We say, Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag, give thanks to our troops. If this offends you, you can get the fuck out.
Fucking leave.
Well, all right, let's do it together. Ready? You can get the fuck out. Still weren't together. It was pretty sad. Let's go there.
Wow, this is always my favorite here.
Well, that's you own this one. Yeah. You own it.
I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I can clearly see you are unarmed. Just unarmed.
Yeah, completely unarmed.
No.
You got no arms.
Somebody ripped your fucking arms off. Let's go with, let's see. There we go. Vince. Okay, we pointed that way.
Yeah. Second Amendment. 1215.
Right.
1791. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
When does that expire?
Expires. What was that word? Ne fucking ever.
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 Never. Absolutely. All right. What's next?
Whatever.
Oh shit! I hit a button. I went to lay the gun down and changed. I touched this. I did something wrong.
We're stuck.
No, we're good. I was switching back and forth. Okay, we did that one. Let's do there's a good one for you, Patrick. Since you brought that one to me, bless the house with that one.
Yeah.
I got to get rid of the flash on it next time I do it.
Yeah.
To argue with
a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead.
Thomas Paine.
And I've experienced that. Of course, we all have, but time and again, especially recently.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our all-time favorites. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for
bears.
Yeah. Bears just fucking kill you.
That's right.
And there's one or two more. Let's see. Vince.
Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people.
Eleanor Roosevelt. And I think that's we got two more. We'll be finished up. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right and raises at first a formidable outcry in defense of custom, but tumult soon subsides. Time makes more converts than reason, and I'm seeing a lot of that. I continue to say that, but I'm seeing a lot of time making more converts than reason. You can sit down and try to reason with somebody, and I'm just seeing a lot of people that are just going, all right, this is some bullshit. Enough of this,
Dude, I had to talk with two of my best friends. I remember I was probably 19, 20 maybe.
Okay.
But I remember having the talk with two of my buddies, and I'm like, hey man, guys, like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Right.
With what's coming in the future? We all know it's gonna be here.
Right.
And one of them was speechless, and the other one was like, there's nothing we can do. And I guess I didn't believe either one of them. Just kept thinking my own thoughts.
Nice.
But now it's like, everything's right in everyone's face, so.
Well, that's a big aspect of it is becoming so obvious and so apparent that they just you can't ignore it anymore. Yeah. And it's very refreshing. It's actually it's lifting, if I can say it that right. You feel a weight lifted off of you when you look around and you were the odd man out for so long, saying stuff, in a locker room or in a conversation, and then it takes 6 months, a year and a half, and then you've got other guys going, they don't look at you and go, "You were right, dude," and you're not looking for that. You don't give two fucks whether they give you the accolade if you were right. Yeah. You just want them to get it. That's a funny thing about being right. And I don't mean the self-righteous people that are trying to be right. When you know you're on a solid foundation and you share opinions and observations and insight from that sure foundation, you are not generally, for the most part, though, when you're in that place, you're in a balanced position because you've at least grasped that truth or that foundation. You're not ever looking to be patted on the back and say, "Oh, dude, you were right. Fuck yeah, you were right." You're not looking for that shit. You're looking to see other people get to the same solid foundation.
You're looking to get people on the right side of history. Mm-hmm. You're either on the right side or you're on the wrong side. There's no in between. Exactly. And so right now, it's pretty freaking obvious. I mean,
right.
It is to me. I'm sure I'm joined by many others.
Yeah. A lot of people seem like they're so afraid and hesitant of information, that they just keep going along and wanting to believe, or they don't want to believe the truth,
right?
Because they're afraid of what the truth is going to do in their life or whatever,
right?
But
yeah, you're exactly right. I'm going to pull up one more. Let's see. I've got to have the most recent. Where is it at? I can't see that far away. Anyways,
we got our new sign this week.
Yeah.
And I'm liking that.
Okay, so I'm pulling up this last one. This is the last one, and it's here on the table. I'll give you the overhead shot. So it's here on the table. I printed it out on the table. Oh, that other one's downstairs. Who's downstairs? Tanya, are you downstairs? No. Bubby?
He's over there playing.
Oh, he's over there. I need that paper that's down on the table. Actually, I can probably pull it up because they're not going to be able to see it. But anyways, I love this one, this meme.
You printed it out?
I did print it out. So I wanted to be able to pull this one up because I love this. I saw this meme quite a while ago. No, buddy, it's down on the table. But I love this meme for what it does.
Tanya's back down there.
Okay, ask her to grab that trucker one I have printed out. Anyways, it says, look how fast I can run.
There's nothing on the table.
I was on the counter, on the bar. It says, look how fast I can run. Oh no, you're a kid. He's like, shh. Yeah. He says, shh, don't react, just smile. And then he says, Daddy, a meteor hit me. Did you see it? Yeah, buddy, I saw it. Very cool. He's like, I am nearly certain that kids are indestructible if we don't acknowledge their pain.
Yeah.
So, Bubby, come here.
Okay, I'm on an ingredients hunt.
Okay. Bubbles, where you at? Come stand next to your dad. You got to speak into that microphone. So your dad was talking the other day about when you wipe. No, go right over here, goofball. Get on the microphone. Say hi.
Hi.
You got to actually tip it back so he can. So I'm gonna put it on the. Well, actually, you're on the table shot. Look right into that camera. I don't know if they can see your face, but Bubby had 9 stitches.
9.
How long ago was that? About 3 months ago.
5.
Wasn't that long ago?
You got him in the preview side.
Oh shit.
It was like in August.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Now he's up there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Vince was talking about it the other day and said that.
Come on, we want to see your stitches.
Yeah, turn your head. You got to look at that camera. But Bubby wiped out on a scooter, powered scooter, and cut his face up. And he cried
5 seconds.
for about 5 seconds. And it wasn't a manly thing or a big boy thing. It was just the fact that Vince didn't react. He's like, all right, buddy, let's go get you cleaned up.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Oh, it was one of those things where we were just out of reach,
Yeah.
you know, and then he like got up to recover and looked at me, and like we were just across the street from each other, you know, and then he was like, and then from the time he ran over to me and I picked him up, he was already done crying.
Right.
So
And that's-
all right, got him inside. Covered,
Yeah.
the whole sink was covered, filled with blood. But then I had him all.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about is
Did you have to get stitches? Doesn't look like it.
yeah, he got 9 stitches.
Yeah.
Did he really? Wow,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That was a pretty good cut then.
It was pretty good.
Well, it kind of like took the layers of skin off on his cheek
Yeah.
down to, you know,
Where the
cheek
meat
fat.
was.
Yeah.
So it just kind of carved a chunk out and then like squeezed it back together.
Right.
But down here, it took a huge gash out of it.
Yeah.
It was
They super
luckily
glued
it was right underneath.
Did they
his
super
lip
glue it, or
lining.
did they steal it? Did they stitch it?
No, they stitched all of it.
Yeah.
You got 3 right here, and then 1 little one right here, and then 4 on the cheek.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes they just
That's
super glue it.
7.
Right?
Yeah. Especially for face cuts.
got
like
9?
that.
Yep, that's 9.
9 stitches.
So it would.
That's a
Would they do 5 here?
what's
I like
the,
this
Or is it
one.
4, 5,
yeah,
1?
that's a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bubby. I want him to see that if you don't react, kids are pretty indestructible.
I wanted him to see that he's still alive and kicking. He's doing well.
Dude, he came in all
took it
proud
on-
of
This is where you say he took it on the chin
Yeah.
and he came out swinging, man.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, he walked in and he's like, check these scars out, Grandpa. I was like, dude, how many times did we do slow-mo? He'll walk up to me and I'll go, slow-mo. And he'll go, oh. Just animate his whole face.
Took it on the chin.
Yeah, just like that. We're going to get it all dialed together. All right, here's one of the next ones that I did. And I posted this today on This Is My Brain, and I saw it, or I posted on Windsor Convoy 2022. But this is something I saw on a vehicle. They had handmade a poster and stuck it to the side of their vehicle. And so I took it and I was like, I want to make that one. You know, I want to take the words of that and make it into a really nice meme. So it took me just a little while, a few minutes in Publisher. But when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. I thought that was just a great phrase. I don't know who it was. They were in a car pulling up to help in the convoy, the trucker convoy that's going on in
Windsor?
with the Canadians.
The-
Yeah.
the
Well, no,
one
it
in
was.
Iowa.
Ontario.
I want to say it was in Ottawa. But one of the groups that had been forwarded to me that I joined already was the Windsor Convoy. So I just posted it in Windsor. I'm like, okay, well, I don't care, where it goes. So that was kind of cool. And then I got one other one. Let's see. Got to remember how to do all this stuff. There we go. Check this one out. I loved it. Woodchuck humor. How many trucks can Trudeau tow if the tow trucks won't tow trucks? That's a tongue twister, isn't it?
It is.
How many
It
trucks can
is.
Trudeau tow if the tow trucks won't tow trucks?
That's right.
I was like, that's what's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So that was, somebody posted that one up. I had to download it to share with you guys tonight. We're being chastised here in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Tim Lauder said that he needs more yelling and swearing. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but he said more swearing with extra swearing, please. So, you know what, Tim, fuck you.
He wants that with cream on top.
Yeah. And then my grandson's here. How do you want me to speak so vulgar, be so vulgar? Fuck off. And then Mr. Graham said he doesn't want to be right, but it's just unfortunate that he usually is. So he is just Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Right. Now, I like to be right because I want to sleep well at night. I want to lay my head on my pillow and know that I'm in the right spot. It's not about being self-righteous. It's about being actually right. What you got going over there, Vince?
Whoops.
Are you queuing that up, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good dinner recap, disclaimers, all that stuff. I went through some extra videos. I'm gonna
Gotta slap you over here.
tell me when you're not ready.
No, I got it. It won't let me rewind, and then I rewinded it, and then it started playing again. So I'm just gonna have to. Not touch
So I picked for tonight number 7. Vince, we read number 7. Logical fallacy for this evening. I picked number 7. I was getting really used to Mom or Leslie picking the fallacies for the show. I got lazy. I didn't even print out the agenda. Like I just picked up the generic form today. I think we'll make it.
Right.
I think we'll be all right.
I think we'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Find our way.
Argument from ignorance. The fallacy that since we don't or can never know or cannot prove whether a claim is true or false, it must be false, or that it must be true.
Right. And we listened to, I'll have you read it again just for clarity, but we listened to the other day, or I listened to it, was it today? Yesterday. Anyways, the Durham report came out.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
We're going to get deep into that, right?
Yeah.
But the Durham report came out, and definitively there's going to come some indictments. There's going to come some heavy-duty stuff coming down. But the Durham report came out and emphatically said that not only did Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and with the participation of other peoples, including the current office holder, the former vice president, were all not only were they involved, they instigated the Russia collusion bullshit that we dealt with for 3 years and spent millions, if not more than that. It was a lot of money that was spent on a bullshit witch hunt. And it was used to try to derail the campaign at first, and then it was used to derail the presidency for a long time. But President Trump did a interview with Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes. They taped it on Friday. They aired it on Sunday evening on 60 Minutes, their normal time slot. And she's literally saying, "You can't, Mr. President, you can't say that the election was stolen and that you were spied on. You can't really say that. There's no proof of that.
Words
There's
like
no proof.
Untrue, unproven.
That's unproven.
Disproven,
That's disproven. That's untrue.
misinformation,
So read that one again.
disinformation.
Argue from ignorance. It's if I can't emphatically prove, if I can't give you 100% proof, then there's no way that it can be true at all. This is bullshit.
Argument from ignorance. The fallacy that since we don't know, or can never know, or cannot prove whether a claim is true or false, it must be false, or that it must be true.
Yeah. It's Patrick?
Whatever side of the coin you're on, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, there's no way. Well, how many things right now that were conspiracy theories that people
Everything.
were banned for, kicked off of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and
The
Instagram
last
and all that
30
shit?
years, everything.
Well, but I'm saying is in the last 2 years of
Said
this
aliens.
pandemic, of this fake COVID shit, right? People were kicked off of entire shows or kicked off entire networks. I mean, Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Mercola, or Peter McCullough and who's the other guy that did the two guys that did the interviews with Joe Rogan. They both got kicked off Twitter immediately after doing their thing. These are absolute experts in their field. But the disclaimer was, well, they're misinformation. Oh, you're going to argue from ignorance that if you can't prove out every...
Well, you remember what I said? What was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
They technically are not making things up when they claim mis or disinformation. Because by saying that it's misinformation or disinformation,
Yeah.
technically they're right. Because if they're following a different narrative,
Yep.
the mainstream narrative, which we know they all are,
Right.
every major corporation is, technically anything else besides that would be misinformation or disinformation.
Right. Yeah. It's shit.
But they don't run, you know, they don't run human beings. I mean, I hope not,
Right.
but you know,
We'll see.
they do run some of them.
So we'll revisit this one a little bit more as we talk about it. Read that definition one more time, Vince.
Argument from ignorance. The fallacy that since we don't know, or we cannot know, or cannot prove whether a claim is true or false, it must be false, or that it must be true.
Oh, we don't know that that's what the cause is, so that can't be. There's no way. We shouldn't even think about investigating or criticizing or questioning that.
Well, if you can't show me proof right fucking now, then it's impossible that that's true.
How about it was absolutely not from the Wuhan lab,
right? Yeah.
but now it's from the Wuhan lab. There's no way it was from the Wuhan lab,
Yeah.
but now it's from the Wuhan lab.
You want to know what's true about coronavirus? COVID-19 is an acronym for Certificate of Vaccination Identification Device.
Yeah, vaccination ID. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was brought forth in the
2019
19 because it hit in 20. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. Anyways,
And it was made in a lab.
so argument from ignorance. Well, we can't know all of the details, so you can't prove any of it. That's why O.J. Simpson was not convicted of murder in a criminal trial, which you have to have absolute proof. Beyond a shadow of reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt is the standard in a criminal trial. But he was convicted fully in a civil trial of being responsible for causing the death, held civilly liable for causing the death. Okay, why? Because it's not held up to the same strict standards. That's the difference between criminal and civil. Civil, two people can sue each other, and if the jury and the judge, come down and say, you know what, it's not lock stock, but we're leaning towards this guy, we're going to vote in his favor. In a criminal case, the jury is charged with if you cannot see this being an absolute thing, and that's a good thing. In the civil or the criminal cases, you want to err on the side of absolute proof. The burden of proof is supposed to be on these prosecutors because they can railroad you, and the state can gain too much power like it has if we don't hold them to a high standard of proving malfeasance. So, yeah.
But, we're starting to come after some of the people that have fucked up with this Durham things.
It's huge, dude. It's huge. It's huge. You know what? I'm gonna pull up. Let me go to the Durham first.
I like the woodchuck though.
The woodchuck's cool, isn't he? Let's see. Oh, you dick. Sorry, nobody out there. They changed my settings, you assholes. Okay, that works. I just upgraded the laptop to Windows 11, which I don't have a problem with Windows 11. I was talking with Tony the other day. From Don't Make This Weird. Don't Make This Weird podcast. They broadcast on Thursday nights. They're one of our other part of the big group, and his co-host Heather does her show on Sundays. Help me, Vince. I drew a blank just as I said that.
What?
Heather's show.
Her show on what?
A girl.
Survivor Girl?
Survivor Girl. I couldn't think. I'm like, I can see it. I can see the purple logo with the dragonflies. And I was drawing a blank. Anyway, so I was talking with Tony the other day, and he usually calls me Monday or something like that, and we discuss a bunch of stuff. He's calling me to find out if I caught the latest episode of 1883, and I'm like, no, I haven't had a chance yet, buddy. We had a Super Bowl party, which nobody cared about. The Super Bowl was good. It was a lot of fun. We'll get into that a little bit, but we were talking about it, and I said, dude, yeah, I downloaded 11, and he's like, oh, I fucking hate it, and I'm like, dude, I haven't had any problems with it. I'm not giving them a rousing endorsement, but I haven't had any issues. In fact, Vince has found a couple shortcuts that he really likes. And I like them too. I don't know if that was an 11 thing or if it was just a Windows thing. Anyways, I'm trying to scroll through these, and I'm going to find the Durham reports because they were big.
So you're saying to me that you like Windows 11?
I have not had any problem with it. There's a few things like they've made it more. They took the bar thing, the little icons. Here, I'll switch to that. They've taken the bar thing here at the bottom, and they've made it in the center, kind of like Apple does. And when you click on like this here, you don't get a whole list of your apps. You get the stuff that they want you to get, which I'm sure you can edit this shit. Yeah, you can edit it. But other than that, I mean, there's a few other shortcuts. And what Tony was talking about, he's like, dude, they made it like, you know, a lot of fluff and a lot of extra bloatware. And I'm like, yeah, I hate that shit. But then again, I don't really care, you know. So anyways, I was talking to him about it. But I was trying to find, let's see, I got to work down here.
That's a nice video.
What do you got, the next video? Well, let's shift gears to that. You ready?
That's a nice video.
Is it a nice video? I'm going to do that. And I have to do... Oh, I remember how I have to do that. Okay. You ready, Vince? You ready? You're doing the next video?
Is that what I'm doing?
Isn't that what you said?
No.
You got to put this one up.
Oh, I know. Dude, did you send me that one, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That was great.
You've got to put this up. It pertains to the Super Bowl and the fact that the Detroit Lions never make it to the Super Bowl. And as a matter of fact, there's a meme that's two lions sitting side by side looking at the sunset. Little guy and dad. Little guy says, "Dad, what's a Super Bowl?" Dad says, "I don't know, son. We're lions." You know. But, you know, that being said,
yeah,
you know, we were able to raise a banner in Ford Field, and you know,
yeah,
and here it is.
Here it is. Here's our banner in Ford Field.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the banner in Ford Field that we can raise.
Awesome.
Our old QB won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The immediate year after he was traded
Yes. Yeah.
from a perennial loser team,
Yeah.
he goes to the Super Bowl and wins. Not only goes to the Super Bowl, but wins.
Yeah.
And we watched, you know, the vast majority of the game, and he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I was very proud of Matthew Stafford. There was I saw a billboard too. Somebody posted a billboard similar to that, like that. That was like, you know, job Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
You know, it was like all the Lions who will probably never see a Super Bowl in their lifetime salute you. You know, something like that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, you know, Detroit's had a lot of talent over the years. But, well, you know, I mean, like Barry Sanders,
Yeah.
arguably one of the best running backs ever.
Right.
Never made it to a Super Bowl because you never had a team around him to be able to take him to that Super Bowl.
Exactly. Well, Stafford with Calvin Johnson. I mean, they played tremendous, but they never put a good team around them.
Yeah.
You know, you had how many games we watched where these guys would just do an absolute implosion of penalties at the wrong, for the other team at the precise moments that helped them out. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. You know, I mean, we know the phraseology SOL, same old Lions. You know, we're shit out of luck.
You know, I was a little torn on that the Super Bowl because I was hoping that the Bengals would win it because they've never been there. Right. And I really don't care for LA.
Right. Right. Yeah, LA as a city and a team. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, Stafford being able to pull it out 1 year after leaving the Lions was like,
yeah,
wow. You know, that's a serious statement. The Ford family's got to be looking at that and saying, okay, maybe they don't give a shit. Who knows? But
you know what? It's a great tax write-off for them.
That's about it. That's all it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's the Durham report. There we go. It's a video. I didn't want the video. I wanted the report. Anyway, so let's get into what's most Trudeau declaring martial law, Putin withdrawing from the Ukrainian border.
Well, he didn't completely withdraw. He's taken some troops away.
But he's doing a strategic right. He didn't take away everything because that logistically that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do it like Biden where he just calls the guys to jump into a truck and leave all the equipment there.
Yeah, no, right. Putin,
I mean, if Putin's leaving, he's going to take the tanks.
Yeah,
he's not just going to leave billions of dollars of equipment there on the border and say,
I'm going to make a
fuck.
prediction right now.
Yeah.
I predict that they're going to say Putin took all of his stuff with him. What's up with that? Is he trying to start World War III? Why didn't he just leave it there like the best president in world history? Just left everything there.
I thought it was awesome because they pointed out that he did. They said to him,
far off though to try and predict that at this point.
They said to him,
I bet there's going to be something coming out about it.
Well, they said Putin's imminent. He's imminently. He's about to attack. He's about to attack. He's about to attack.
Oh,
and then an hour later, like he's withdrawing troops. Well, is he about to attack or is he withdrawing troops? It can't be both.
Yeah.
And he said publicly several times now, if you guys don't back the fuck off, we're going to defend our border. And he even said, he's like, how would you like it if I put missiles on the Canadian-American border? What do you want me to do? You're putting troops on there and then saying I'm about to invade? This is you. This is you fucking guys trying to salvage a shit presidency from a false president, a fake president. And you're what are you doing?
Yeah.
Quit doing this shit. You know? Back the fuck up.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be that many people that are going to fight for these fucking traitors.
Right. No. Well, there are certain people that will go along because they have sworn an oath to, or sworn allegiance. But then you're right. There's a lot of people that are going to go. You know what I would like to see more than anything else
most of those people are going to convert.
I would like to see more things where they say, I'm just not going to. I've seen it and talked to a number of people that have served, and they go, yeah. Well, I remember I've told the story on the show where the one guy, he was in Vietnam, and his one buddy had 2 weeks before his tour was done. Yeah. And they were tunnel rats that would go into the Vietnamese tunnels and try to root out the troop, go in there, explore, and try to root out. But they set booby traps all through these tunnels, and they knew it. And the sergeant came by, and he's like, it's your turn, you're up. Go check out that we found a tunnel, I need you to go in there. And he walked over. And he walked it back over to the Jeep, and he grabbed two of the metal gas cans. You've seen them on the old Army Jeeps.
Yeah.
And he walked back over the hole, and he dumped them down in the hole, and he pulled a grenade, off his belt, and pulled the pin, and he says, he waved everybody away, fire in the hole, and he threw the grenade in the hole, and took cover and blew it, 2 cans of gas and a grenade down in there. He's like, I checked it out, Chief, I didn't find anything, He's like, I got 2 weeks till I'm out of here. Fuck that. Yeah. And I think that's what you're going to see is not as much a direct rebellion, but guys who just go,
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go. It's like, go in there and invade. Yeah, okay. And they kind of shoot up. It's kind of the World War I where you read about the truce. One of the other things that they had happen in the 1800s in Europe a lot, and even into World War I and started getting to World War II is there were a lot of guys that wouldn't hit their targets, that wouldn't hit the other troops, because if they could see their face, they would not try to shoot them until they got into, real physical, aggressive hand-to-hand combat. If they were across the line from them, they would miss on purpose, because it's hard to become so callous that you just kill another human being without provocation. A war is provocation, but what I'm saying is if you haven't been physically attacked by that person, you don't feel a righteous indignation or righteous right to go, a righteous vengeance to go after that person. And so you see that human being across from you, and you avert that. You don't try to kill them. So it takes quite a bit to move people over, and I think you're going to have the majority of that coming up, in a lot of these conflicts that are coming forth. I found found one of them. Let's see. Let's look at this. Unless you guys had any more comments about that.
No, but
We're good?
I want to see the trees.
Okay, so this is the headline from InfoWars, Treason, Lock Her Up, which we remember shouting that chant. That was good.
Yeah, Hillary for president.
Hillary for prison. That was a great T-shirt that InfoWars. That InfoWars was the one that put that one out there. Yeah, that was the meme.
Yeah.
Special Counsel John Durham has finally uncovered the horrible truth, a bombshell crime worthy of the title of treason. The fact that it has been immediately ignored entirely and or propagandized into oblivion actually reveals the level of propaganda masquerading as American journalism. But will the American people buy it this time? I want to know. No, we won't buy it.
Absolutely
I
not.
wouldn't procrastinate anymore. The globalists
You should
are devaluing
procrastinate.
currencies, inflation.
Give me the skip.
And now they're starting war with Russia. You need storable food.
There we go. How long is this report?
Special Counsel John Durham
This
has
is a good
finally
report.
uncovered the horrible truth, a bombshell crime worthy of the title treason.
This is the greatest single political scandal in American history.
Love Roger
This
Stone.
is the greatest single abuse of power that we have ever seen. Let's define it, if we may. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, with the approval of Vice President Joe Biden, who was in the room when this was all approved, were involved in the use of the full authority of the United States government and the extraordinary capability of our intelligence agencies to spy on and thus launch an investigation to remove a duly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump.
That is treason. That is treason against the people, against the republic. That's about as big a crime as you can commit.
The fact that it has been immediately either ignored entirely or propagandized into oblivion actually reveals the level of fake news masquerading as American journalism.
That's a nice chart.
0 minutes.
Going to jail if somebody actually intruded into the White House.
Like what the Russians did to Hillary Clinton, for instance.
The right is feasting on this.
This makes no sense. This is grist for the mill for Fox News to go out and further gum up the works to create a whole lot of noise about nothing.
And it's an effort to change the subject from the investigation to January 6th. That's another element of this story.
This news about the Durham investigation. Does the president have any concerns about a candidate for president using computer experts to infiltrate computer systems?
Take your mask off. I can't see your face line.
Or even the president-elect to use for the goal of
She was probably telling the truth.
Is that something that...
That's something I can't speak to from this podium, so I refer you to the Department of Justice.
Is what was described in
That lady just spit on all those
monitoring
people.
She
internet
did.
traffic, is that spying?
Again, I
She's
can't speak to
spitting
that
in your
report.
eyes, lady.
I refer you
Spitting
to
in
the
your
Department
eyes
of
right now.
Justice.
But will the American people buy it this time?
No.
Even though Hillary Clinton's lackeys are clearly tied to a massive criminal act, putting the citizens of the United States national security in harm's way after sabotaging the secure servers of the executive office of a duly elected sitting president of the United States.
Democrat-paid operatives illegally hacked their political opponents' communications during a presidential campaign and then did it again to a sitting president. Your reaction to what we learned this morning?
When you look at Durham's pleadings in the Michael Sussman case, he is basically laying out a case of where a number of laws have been broken by the Clinton campaign and where people are being protected by Sussman's lawyers. In fact, the pleading is about trying to convince Michael Sussman and the court that he's not being well served by his own lawyers because they're in fact protecting the Clinton campaign and others in the allegations of their bias. Durham has in evidence of compromising of computer systems in an attempt to try to basically frame the president of the United States as having Russia ties. This is where government is being used, where information that's political opposition research that is false is being made up, is trying to be placed into the government, into the FBI, to undertake criminal investigations that are absolutely false. This is a whole new level of corruption. And
all right, take it down. Rewind it 5 seconds and we'll go back to it. Sorry, I'm yelling at the intern. Oh, wait. That's me. I keep forgetting. But it's a big thing. So I mean, a lot of these people are getting indicted for this. That it's finally coming out that the whole Russian collusion with the Trump campaign was not only bullshit, but they were spying absolutely on the Trump campaign. And that's part of what the criticism for 4 years was that Durham was dragging his feet and wasn't bringing information out. And I think that he was
putting the package together.
I think he was putting such a lock, stock, and unrefutable case together that there's no way that they can wiggle out of this shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you know what? The bigger story here, in my opinion, it's a huge story.
Huge.
But the exposure of the mainstream media and
their
bias,
complicity. Yeah.
I mean, this has got to be the biggest story of the decade, at least, if not more. And they've said nothing about it, rather than they're playing it off like it's noise to get people distracted from January 6th. Really?
I mean, when you rank it and you go, I rank it up there with, in my lifetime and a student of history, I would rank the Russian, this coming out right now with Durham and Hillary Clinton spying on their campaign, this completely overshadows anything that happened in Watergate. Watergate was private people being spied on by contractors, okay? They're literally using government resources to spy on the Trump campaign. Literally, government resources.
All of them.
All of them. And really, Nixon had to resign because he covered up the fact that he was connected.
Yeah.
He wanted some dirt on his political campaigns. He didn't authorize what they did. And when he found out what they did, he just tried to cover it up because he did want dirt. But he didn't say, go and do this. Hillary and fucking Obama said, go and do this. And not only ginned up bullshit, but then spied completely on a campaign and then a sitting president. That's treason.
Yeah.
Outright treason. And then Roger Stone has to be pardoned by President Trump because he's convicted of a process crime where they said he lied to the FBI. He didn't fucking lie to the FBI. But that was, if there is no Russian collusion bullshit, Roger Stone doesn't get tried for anything. Because that's what it was all about. They had him come in and testify about Russian collusion. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, it's just treason. And I'm Mark Twain said that a lie travels around the world twice before the truth has a chance to get its pants on in the morning. And that's what we're seeing. But the truth is catching up. The truth about this COVID pandemic bullshit is catching up. Fauci's being exposed, and that some of the latest reports. I'm telling you what, if you've gotten a vaccine, I'm really praying for you. I got a number of friends that I know have gotten a vaccine. They literally put an HIV.
Yeah. To bind it to the.
Yeah, it's called AIDS.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling it. Yeah. They're calling it AIDS because it's tied with
HIV. AIDS.
And they're talking about more and more people are not only is the cancer through the roof right now, the incidence of myocarditis and what's the other one? Myocarditis and what's the other heart?
Microcarditis.
Microcarditis. Yeah. Those are off the charts. The cancer rates are off the charts on this. The adverse
what else is off the charts.
What?
The amount of athletes.
Yeah, that are dropping dead. Well, that's the myocarditis and microcarditis.
I mean, how long is it going to take?
When
every day there's another athlete, well-known person, collapsing.
Well, it's because the fourth branch of society. I mean, we have three branches of government, but they've always called the media the press. They didn't call them the media then; they called them the press because we had print media back then. They always called them the fourth branch because they were the ones that were supposed to hold. The way that our government was set up was three branches of government that were all supposed to be checks and balances for each other. That's why you never wanted one party or group to hold all of them. We know that our Supreme Court right now is completely compromised. They've voted on things that you go, what the fuck are you looking at? Because I'm well researched and looking at the data, you know. And you're not even supposed to legislate from the bench. You're supposed to judge whether it's constitutional or not. That was their main job.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, I steal your thunder, Patrick.
It's all right.
But you know, the fourth check and balance from that standpoint was supposed to be the press. The press was supposed to be the fourth and somewhat the final check and balance. Is if the government gets the three of them to get together and they're no longer checking and balancing each other, at least we have this fourth branch, the freedom of press, to then expose stuff. You know, I as much as they were, you know, more leftist leaning stuff like that. Nixon was a Republican president. I applaud Woodward and Bernstein for exposing the Watergate scandal. Where are the fucking Woodward and Bernsteins now? You know who the Woodward and Bernsteins are now? Roger Stone, Alex Jones, you know, Snowden. Rebel Media, Eric Snow. You know, those are the people that are now those Woodward, but they're not in the big corporate institutions. They're in their own independent media outlets that are being suppressed by the big corporate groups. So we don't have a fourth branch of the press that is out there exposing and bringing to the forefront. You have to get it from alternative medias. Vince, what did you have? You're on the same thing as I am on treason?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Patrick's ready and I'm ready.
My glass doesn't runneth over.
You know what I just thought is if this goes you know, the right way with this whole Trump being spied on thing, then I think that's going to set a precedent that we need to take down the entire, you know, get rid of the NSA.
Right.
And
there's several institutes that need to be abolished.
50,000 other institutions of government.
Yeah.
Because if they spied on Trump,
they're spying on.
They absolutely did.
Absolutely.
Then we need to stop them from spying on everyone else because he was just as much as a private citizen as all of us are.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And the interesting thing is, I heard somebody the other day, and it was very poignant when they were talking about that the only check and balance that they had on the CIA when the CIA was created, because it was originally the Office of Strategic Defense, the OSS, weren't they? The Office of Strategic Service or Strategic, whatever. That's what they were coming out of World War II, and then they became the CIA, Central Intelligence. And it was supposed to be, its charter is to basically spy on foreign countries to protect our national interests. Well, that charter's been extremely violated, but the only check that they had on the CIA was the purse. Well, then the CIA, very notoriously and well documented, ran drugs. I mean, Air America wasn't that Mel Gibson? Was in Air America? I believe he was in Air America. Anyways, they're running drugs out of during the entire Vietnam War to support the nefarious things that they wanted to do as an organization, and that gave them that much more distance and covert operating ability, because now they don't have to go back to Congress and ask for black funds and disclose to congressmen and senators behind closed doors what they're up to. They can go, we don't have to tell you a fucking thing, we got our own money. And that's the shit that they're doing. And I look at how many of these other agencies are just, you know, getting money from these different. So that's why I think the war on drugs was such a joke, because half of the war on drugs, or a good portion, more than half of the war on drugs, was the fucking CIA bringing shit in.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you've got other government agencies. Dude.
Yeah, you know what they did? They snuffed out their competition.
Literally with snuff.
Every step along the way.
Exactly.
Until they were maintained at that top dog position.
Jeff says he's got Jeff said he's got a Hillary for Prison t-shirt.
I got mine in 2016.
Oh, Mr. Lauder says he's got 2 badges for watching the show. I don't know how you do that. I don't know what he says. Oh, he says Ubuntu is basically clean and fresh, but he can't read French. Yeah. You know, they are, Mr. Lauder, they are putting out some bad news about Biden, but you have to weed through it, and I won't do it. But there have been a few guests on CNN that they can't control anymore. He sent me the picture. That's the first time I've seen your face, Jeff. His emoji on Facebook is not like none of his stuff on his page is his face. That's a nice pic, man. You got to put that up as your profile pic. That's great. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming through about this, and I'm excited about it. I'd like to see the whole damn thing unravel. And you know what?
Well, I think it will unravel.
Absolutely.
But it may take time. It's already taken a long time, but it's kind of nice that it's happening now, and I hope it intensifies as we go later into the year, getting close to November when we vote.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I think this summer is going to be
pretty intense.
It's going to be definitely a year to remember for people who love freedom.
Right.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to get the fuck out.
No.
And do some shit in some warm weather.
Well, we talked about it last week.
All over the place.
Yeah, we talked about it last week not even last week. We talked about it, what day was it, Friday? I think we were sitting here Friday or Saturday getting ready for, Super Bowl party. And Vince and I both looked at each other. It was probably Friday. We were probably listening to the Friday show on InfoWars, and we're like, dude, we want to just go to Windsor or go over to Detroit on the Windsor side. Of the Ambassador Bridge, and I'm like, you want to go over there? And I'm like, I don't know how close we could get, I don't know what's going on, but we want to go. It's like you want to be involved, you want to support that stuff. But I think to a certain extent, unless you're directly involved, if we were truckers, there would be no hesitation in being involved in a convoy, and it's starting up in Arizona or on the West Coast, somewhere over there, California.
Yeah, was it Rand Paul, or is it Rand Paul and some other?
Yeah, Rand Paul came out and said, block it. Yeah. He said, he's like, if you're tired of this, then show up, then block it. And what he said was, you don't have to do the huge convoy, that people think you need to do. He says, one truck per day can block 4 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
And then they got to take the time to come and tow you away, and who's going to do it? And I saw on the Windsor Convoy 2022, on their Facebook page, they had there was somebody on there that said that they got towed away by this certain company. They called out the company and said they towed my stuff away. Fuck that company. And the comments after that was, I will never fucking, never ever. You're hanging yourself.
Yeah.
If you side with the government on something like that as a private company, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. And we haven't had the same incidents, but there was a incident years ago. There was a young man living with Vincent and his mom at the time, and thank you, dear. Would you
like a preview?
It was very snowy, and he put the minivan in the ditch. Well, the cops showed up to help him out, found out his license was expired or some shit, right?
Who did?
Zach.
Oh, yeah.
And because his license was expired,
thank you,
or suspended or something like that, for whatever reason, he didn't have his license, okay? Whatever the reason was. I think they picked him up. They arrested him. So then, I'm not even going to call the company out because they're big in this area, but there was a local company here that's huge, that owns a lot of real estate, owns a lot of businesses. They also towing and oil, okay? They got the call. They raced over immediately, and I understand. That's why I'm not saying their name on the show. But they raced over, picked up the van, hauled it over, and Martha gets the call. So we go over there and we're trying to figure it out. Well, the towing fee was like double.
Yeah, aren't you talking about the place that's like?
Yeah.
It was like 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, it's 3 miles down the road, and it was like $350.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
So you're talking about the entire length of that tow was probably half an hour.
And I'm like,
maybe.
I said, dude, $350? Like, it's a single mom. He's like, well, we got a 911 call. You know, it was the police called us. It was a 911 call. I'm like, the fact that they arrested the kid means that the vehicle was not going anywhere and was in the ditch. There was no rush on this thing. Well, yeah, I'm like, so you saw fucking dollar signs and raced your truck over there, and now you're going to rip this person off? And I called him out on it right there. Yeah. And I was like, now the vehicle's sitting here with a flat tire because it got a flat when it went in the ditch. And I said, and you're going to try to rip her off with giving her a shit tire out of your back? And he went in the back. He found a good tire. He helped us blow it up, helped us put it on. He said, I'm sorry, man. I'm just doing I'm like, no. At a certain point, you got to make a decision. What is right and wrong? And if you're so accustomed to getting that fat check that you can't see what's right, you usually lose your soul. Enough beer at night's not going to drown away the fact that you feel like a piece of shit. Okay?
Yeah, that's
true. And so my whole point on that was, that's part of my rant. I'll say that's part of my rant. Was these people called him out and said, you fucking people showed up here and towed away my vehicle and called out the name of the company and said, fuck you, you assholes on the side of government. Mm-hmm. You should have pulled up like the majority of the Canadian tow truckers pulled up and said, we're not towing this. These are our brothers in arms. These guys are on the road. In fact, I didn't pull up the video, but there's a video right now you guys can look up. It's called So God Made a Trucker. So it's similar. Yeah, look at that. Jeff says, got it back up. Oh, what was he saying? I just tried putting it back on Facebook. Okay, so you got it back up. Tim Lauder says, stand up. And then Kim's chiming in and says, hey, guys, not getting great reception here, but it's good to see you all. Very good, Kim. You know what you can do?
Hi, Kim.
If you're not getting good reception there, Kim, is you can turn down your resolution rate on your phone. If you're watching on, I don't know if Twitch does it, but I know on YouTube specifically, you can turn down the resolution you're watching at, and it'll decrease the amount of bandwidth that you need to watch the show on. Anyway, so that's one of the interesting things about who are you going to stand with? Who are the troops going to stand with at the end of the day? Who are the cops going to stand with? I got a couple cop buddies, and I've talked to them a little bit, and I know. In fact, I know all of the cop buddies that I know that I've talked to. They're like, yeah, no, we're never fucking turning on the citizens.
I think the real question is, who's going to give up on everyone's right to be a free, not only American, but a free human being? Because if we're not free in America, then
we're the gold standard of freedom in this in the world.
The world's in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 9:20. Let's do this. Let's do a switch. You ready? Do you want more comments? Go ahead, Patrick.
No.
You look like you're going to say something.
No, I was just noticing the blue bottle here.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch to that shot. So this is what we're premiering tonight. This is called Ocean, Ocean Vodka, and it is a company out of Hawaii, and they make this. This is made from sugar cane. Where's it at? I read the description there. That's products and merchandise.
Is it the
read our story? There it is. So the Oceans, a labor of love. Vince, give me some reading over there, buddy.
There is a Hawaii not often seen by those who live outside the islands, and yet it is all around.
We're about to.
There is comfort in being surrounded by it, knowing all the gifts it has given and still gives to us. And here in Hawaii, wrapped in the warm and clear plastic, we live... Oh, Pacific, not plastic.
That was a Freudian slip of the plastic. Wrapped in the plastic.
Pacific. We live by its rhythms, the ocean.
Yeah. So, Ocean Organic Vodka. So, Tanya just told me this is a preview. So, let's try this preview. She's going to do some more because there's like 3 or 4 recipes on here. So, Vince and I did a little taste test beforehand. Actually, Patrick and Tanya did it after us.
Raw vodka.
It's an organic vodka. It's very, very smooth because it's distilled and there's really no overtones at all.
Yeah.
Is it natural red?
No, she did the mix.
She put something.
She did the mix. So we're getting
it's spiked.
A preview.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
Oh wow, that's very nice. What's that? It's like a pomegranate almost, right? What do you got?
Black cherry.
Oh, black cherry. Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
That's very good. With 7-Up. Black cherry and 7-Up.
You gotta give me pop.
He hasn't had pop in years. So, anyways,
I don't drink pop.
8.
So these guys do
probably 9.
Ocean Organic Vodka was sparked by an article in a newspaper about one of Hawaii's natural resources. What does it say? Desalinated deep ocean mineral water off the Kanoa coast of the Big Island. And this, coupled with a collection of experiences like relaxing on the Lanoi after a long day, enjoying a libation, and talking story with a friend, became the basis for the celebratory creation. So they got a good history on there. It's a family affair. They got a whole group there. So good stuff. And
yeah, I don't think I could drink a lot of this. I don't like it. I don't drink pop.
No. She's going to do another mix for us. She said, I misunderstood when she brought them up here, the little shots, that they were just a preview. She's going to do another one, a different flavor mix. But I liked that. I enjoyed that.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So Ocean.
I like this kind of stuff better.
Yeah, you like that. You're the.
I gotta wash that shit.
Yeah, I would have said hold. I would have said hold the soda.
Hold the soda. She's gonna do some more. But that's.
I already drank most of it before you told me, so
right.
That's on me.
Well, so that's what we're previewing tonight: the Ocean Organic Vodka. And I thought it was very tasty downstairs, or not tasty. I'll say that it was not tasty. It was extremely smooth. Without
it didn't really have a flavor.
It didn't really have a flavor, and that's what they say on the bottle, that they distill it to be, what does it say, spirit neutral or neutral spirits? What was the back of the bottle said? To have a neutral spirit because of the way to distill it?
It's 100% neutral.
100% neutral.
Neutral alcohol distilled. Yeah.
So they're trying to keep it neutral so that it's very clean and smooth. And I didn't realize till we read it that it's they've got some desalinated the water that they draw from, and that's what a lot of companies do. Is they draw from their local water source, which gives it either unique flavor or, in this case, not really any flavor. I mean, it had an overtone at the end, or it had a slight tone at the beginning of it, and then it had a little bit of an aftertone, but it was very neutral. Isn't that what you thought?
Mm-hmm.
But like when we do the Dan Aykroyd, the Crystal Head, that's done in Buffalo, New York, or in Niagara Falls, right there, that whole area. They get their water from there, and that gives it a unique flavor for the vodka.
Niagara's powered by Tesla turbines.
Yes.
You have another new head over here.
Yeah, that big head.
Oh, that's right, the big one.
Big head. Yeah. You know what? That camera up top, that TV, the camera at the end of the table is tipped a little too high.
Yeah.
We've been grabbing the cameras and moving them around the shop. Like
we've been doing shit.
Vince, let's do that. You ready to do that? Well, Patrick, what were you going to say?
You were trying to film the events of the Super Bowl.
We did. We actually did just enough of the events of the Super Bowl. We did our halftime show. And you know what's funny is I was on Facebook again today posting some stuff, and it was funny to see all the people that were like, the halftime show was, I mean, just some people went into great detail and other people just went into, fuck these, this was bullshit. And so it was very interesting to see. So one of the things we've been doing here, we are always doing stuff. We're always building, always crafting. We're always working on things.
Well, everyone who's been here knows that it changes every time they come here.
exactly.
Yeah, back to the halftime show. I mean, I'm you guys were jamming your video in it, and we shut the screen off because we didn't really want to watch the halftime show. And then the game started going again, and you guys were jamming on. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? We could have the game on at the same time. I mean, what the hell? It's going to be. We're not hearing it anyway. We just want to see what's going on.
Right.
But now this evening, I realize why, because there's a copyright.
Oh, they will
if
fucking
it's videoed and posted.
Yep.
That we could get in trouble
if it has the network logos on it.
Yeah.
Instant strike.
Instant strike.
Yeah.
You're like,
you're using our stuff. And that's where you got to walk the line with the fair use and stuff like that. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to rebroadcast your fucking show.
No.
You know, it's in the back. It's like we've got to walk the line with doing stuff. We don't do any projects really without having music.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'd like to sing along and have music on, while we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to literally shut the music off we had a movie plan, and I didn't want that to come through because
Yes. I've already had too much pop.
Sounds like you.
I don't want to restart my counter.
Sounds like
I'm already
you.
at fucking a decade already. So
it's just a little bit of Sprite or 7-Up.
Yeah, but it's all.
A little bit of.
So what's this one?
Aside from Tropicana,
It's basically the same thing, but I
lemonade.
put extra vodka in it, so you could actually maybe taste the vodka. Because I couldn't taste the vodka before. It's so smooth and so subtle, I couldn't taste it. And I thought I put a lot in.
It's very smooth. I'll end up drinking theirs.
With your Di Serrano.
just cut him off on Di Serrano and we'll give him those.
No, just share that. Just give it all right here. It's very great. It's very tasty. You guys just don't add in the sweetness and the pop as much as I am.
Well, I'm a little more of a bourbon.
You're in the bourbon and scotch. So the Ocean Organic Vodka is the Ocean Organic Vodka is excellent vodka. In fact, that's what Tanya's saying is she had to add more to the mix to try and get more vodka flavor because it's so subtle in there. It's dangerous. Straight from Hawaii. So it's a if you want a made in the USA, as far away as Hawaii is.
Hawaii.
They are the 50th state. So Vince, so we've been talking about it. We've been doing projects here in the man cave for years, and let's give a little shot of the cave. I'll do the little cave shot as Tanya goes back down, but you can't see as much of the detail. But those of you that have been here, that are tuning in, but those of you that haven't been here, all the projects here we do ourselves. We've hired out very few things, Every once in a while we have to have the HVAC out here to run, gas lines from one side of the building to the other. When I have the septic put in, that'll have the machines out here. Noah will come out and do that for us. But the rest of it we do ourselves. But we also do these projects. So, like, for instance, this table, we actually have some video and some still photos of us doing this. All right, she's running the water. I built this table with Vince, and it's all out of reclaimed wood. These slat boards here in the walls are reclaimed wood from a house that we did. So there's a lot of different projects that we do here, and so Vince is going to play the video because we need to explain why we don't have a lot of videos, but we're going to start having a lot of videos. Ready? You ready, Vince?
Yep.
Start it over. They got to see the burn.
Oh no! That's a bird.
We're so excited.
So, at the man cave, we're always making. Right now, we're making the wall nice and smooth with some drywall. Vince and Rob are about to sand it down. We make a lot of stuff here at the Man Cave. A lot of stuff. A lot of things that you see here. But you know what? We forget to make. Vince, what do we forget to make?
Videos.
The videos. So we're trying really hard to make the videos now so that you guys can see what we make here. Because we're makers at the Man Cave. Man Cave makers.
Did you?
Man Cave makers. So there it is. Man Cave makers.
And that was a random guitar track that I found.
In the computer?
In the computer somewhere. Yeah. But go to YouTube.
Man Cave makers.
Man Cave makers.
Man Cave makers. MCM.
Went live 1 day ago, and we already got 60 subscribers. I mean 6.
6 subscribers? And how many views on that one intro video?
Well, probably now it's going to be 38, but we had 37.
But we have a ton of other videos that are in the computer that we are mixing at the present. It takes a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
It took me like 4 hours just to make that intro.
Really? Wow.
Mainly because I had to look through all the files and shit and find, I was looking for we were just going to use his music.
That was good music, though. It worked.
That's all I could find was that little guitar.
I think we were pretty convinced that was Tony.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So it was Tony on guitar, and I sent that out. So I'm like, Tony of
from
Don't Make This Weird podcast. And he actually does guitar. Tony actually does every week, does Guitar Fridays, where he sits down and he plays tracks off of YouTube. Free online, no copyright strike tracks, and then he plays lead guitar to those tracks. I've sat with him, I think once or twice. I think once at least, or I know once at least. So, anyways, moving on. So that's what we got. Like, share, and subscribe. We're looking to actively promote the channels and do what we do and enjoy ourselves. And Bubby's over there watching somebody on freaking some YouTube guy over there.
Some YouTube guy over there.
Good
description.
And I go, dude, that guy is got millions of views.
Yeah.
And I go, what the hell, man? We're funnier than that fucking guy.
In like 6 hours, he'll have 1 million views.
Right. Now, your channel gets a lot of...
Is doing something stupid or what?
Yeah.
Playing a video game or something.
Well, a lot of times it's just reviews of somebody else's shit. He's
Someone
reviewing a
playing
video game, or he's...
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, these guys are idiots. They don't know how to play this game.
Well, I've figured out people watch it because certain YouTube people, they have personalities.
Oh, absolutely. We got personalities. Look at Tim had to yell at us. He's like, you guys aren't cussing enough on the show.
They're not watching because, I got to watch what this guy does on this game, It's like, oh, this guy played that game.
Yeah.
Or he watches this video. Or he
Yeah.
did something for that video,
Exactly. Yeah. So, lots of cool stuff, and sometimes you get in, obviously the rant, we have a lot of fun on here, but, you get into some more serious subjects, you don't always get as much traction.
And the other thing is, we know for a fact, like every time we make something for somebody, every time we build something,
right?
In the end, they're like, man, I wish I could see like a time lapse of that, or
we've gotten that
step by step.
Exactly.
Not necessarily like, put it on YouTube. I wish I could watch it on YouTube.
Right, but they want to.
But it's like, if we put it on YouTube,
right,
you would be fucking watching it.
Well,
because it's your shit.
The deck we built for our buddy Tim Sellis, 3 years ago now, 4 years ago. He still says to me, he's like, dude, you got to shoot a drone video of the deck. Because I talked to him, I was like, dude, I want to do a drone video. We fly out around it and then come in, and then we'll cut to a couple of things. I'm like, yeah, I have it in my head. I see how I want to, film it and everything like that. I have a couple drones with cameras on them. It just it's a lot of work to do this. But Vince has been sitting down with the computer. I sat down with the computer, and we're doing. The more you get better at some of these programs, the quicker you can do stuff. And so he's learning quick on the fly to do the editing.
I I had a computer class.
Right.
In high school, so.
Well, so did I,
It
but
was Windows 7, so they taught us how to use all the little shortcuts. You know, all the combinations of keys and shit. So.
I had a class when I was in high school too.
Yeah, but they taught you like.
Yeah, it was Windows like DOS.
Pong.
It was Windows DOS. Like my final project was to have a like 2-bit. It was not even 8-bit. It was like
text based.
It was like 2-bit, right? And we had to program each line of text, and I had this ship, this sailboat that came across, and it got halfway across got to the middle of the ship, got to the middle of the screen, and it popped up a question and said, "Do you like sailing?" And if you clicked yes, it kept sailing across the screen, and if you clicked no, it sank. That was my final project. I got a B.
Did it have any sound?
No, dude. No, dude. Dude, these computers, like, if you had, like, memory back then was, like, if you had, 32 megabytes of RAM, that computer was smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's top of the line.
Dude.
Depending on when you're talking. I remember, because when, like a year after the PlayStation 2 came out.
Yeah.
And, we figured out they came out with memory cards. I mean, they were
16
built with a
megabyte.
slot.
16.
No. The first ones
were like 8.
Were 8.
8 megabyte card slots.
You could save like 8 games on it. Like you could save your game 8 times in a different game.
Right.
But then after that, you had to either get a new memory card or delete them all.
Right. I
so
literally
like now you could stick like a terabyte.
Dude,
fucking SD card.
We've been recording videos in the computer. We record them on the GoPros and on all the other stuff. So there's 3 GoPros in this in what we're doing live right now, and then these 2 other Sonys. So what we'll do, and we have 4 GoPros here. So we'll set up the GoPros throughout the shop, or throughout the man cave. And then I'll grab this phone, my phone, and I'll grab my old phone, which is an identical model, but it started, the software started, once I wiped it, now it runs great, once I wiped everything off of it. So this one runs great, the other one runs great now because I wiped it. And I'll grab both these phones, and we'll do this. So I have to literally, when we're loading it up, you don't want to plug your phone in to download your shit. Take forever. So you pop it open, you pull the SD card out of here, you stick it in the computer, and then it's going to download really quick whatever you're transferring. It just transfers quick.
Yeah, I did like 90 gigs of video yesterday.
Yeah, in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was like almost 2 hours.
Yeah. But I pull my phone out, and it's amazing. I pull out this little micro SD card, and you know how big micro SD cards, if you guys are familiar with those, the micro SD. In my phone right now, I have a 512 gigabyte micro SD card. That's just amazing.
The shitty thing about it is, for a fact that they could have hundreds of thousands of gigabytes on the same size device.
Right. Need some paperwork, Patrick?
Yeah, I just want to write something down.
I can give you some real paper.
Ever since the discovery of carbon nanotubes.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, it'll
like
say on my phone.
You really think they didn't find some way to get a massive amount of
data,
digital data,
yeah, onto
a microscopic device?
Well, and the funny thing is, this phone, when it's issued, says, looks like calligraphy. You sure you don't want some real papers? You can read that again?
I can read it. I've written things on bar napkins before.
But it's amazing to me. I'm like, this card is half a terabyte in this device. It's amazing. And yet it says
years ago.
It says when you get the phone, when I get this phone, and my phone, this model is like 2 years old, which means the technology is probably 4 years old from development. It says it supports 2 terabyte SD card. And I'll be rummaging through stuff because I was trying to find a card reader for the camera we got that takes these CF cards that nobody uses anymore. And I was like, okay, I thought we found one, and then Vince finally clued me in today. I'm walking through here, and he goes, "Yeah, we had that card reader." He's like, I think you told me to throw it out. I'm like, I probably did. I was like, fuck that card reader. Throw that thing out. You know? Because the laptop's got a card reader. We got the other little card readers. And I'm like, I probably did. Let's go find one. So we found this one for like, I think it was like $16 or something like that at Staples. Anyways, and it pulled up all the still photos off the camera. They're gorgeous. Great. I mean, resolution's phenomenal. So I'm happy. But it's amazing to me. These will come out and they say they'll support up to 2 terabyte SD cards. Have you ever seen a 2 terabyte SD card? I haven't. They haven't made them yet, but this says it'll support it. Yeah. So when they do come out. So sometimes technologies are like racing with each other to see who will support what, and they've got to kind of be a little retro in order to incorporate some past stuff that hasn't quite caught up, and yet be forward-thinking enough to move forward. What do you got in your? Is it relate to that, Patrick? Are you gonna take us in a different direction?
No, this is just something totally different.
Would you guys want to do a technology rant real quick?
Yeah, do a technology rant. Because you know what? You spent about an hour and a half today looking for the fucking program, and then realized you had edited it on my laptop. He's like, I can't find this fucking program. It should be in this folder. I thought I saved it in the right spot. And I come back up like an hour later, and he goes, I edited that on your laptop, not the big tower.
You know what? Because you didn't put the original video I used, you know, the little slide of the intro.
Right.
You know, where it faded in and out.
I left the laptop right there. You jumped on it. I left the laptop up there next to the tower, and you jumped. I left, and you jumped on it.
After you left, I just went right on the laptop.
You just went on the laptop and started doing it, and then he's thinking.
I set up the whole YouTube channel.
I'm like, okay.
I edited the video and
everything. Yeah, so the video you just saw where they were doing the wall, well, we finished the wall. So today, we shot a whole segment of the wall finished, and him dropping his earbud in the Porta-John shitter and having to clean the shit off.
It actually happened.
So we were like shot this whole bunch of video, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this whole video, add it, like do an updated intro. Don't even do it as an intro, but do it at, you know, the wall's finished or something, whatever you're gonna call it. It'll be one of our first videos. And like that should be easy. All you're doing is taking the raw footage that we just did, you're throwing it on there. There was only 2 cameras and the audio. I'm like, you can slap it on there, it's all good. And he's looking for an hour to try to find it just to add these couple clips to the end. He's like, I'm just not finding it. And I'm like, I can feel your frustration, dude, because there's times when I'm just like,
do a search when you didn't have a label.
He was over there on the tower.
It was like doing a full fucking disk search.
Yeah.
Through all the hard drives.
And then he realized he's like
I think it got up to 70,000 folders it searched through.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there's how many hard drives? Like 7 hard drives on that thing?
Right now there's only 4, but when you had it plugged in, you had the SD cards in there.
I had 2 SD cards.
So that would have been 6.
So it searched, it got to like 60, 70,000 folders, and I was like, all right, it's not fucking on here. It's not on
It's like, it should be right here. I'm opening up this, it should be, because you even go to the recent files.
All the other pieces of it.
Yeah.
You know, like you got your media pool. All the other pieces, I could just right click on them and say find the file, and it would instantly just find the file. Right? And then I go to like the intro and outro title page, whatever.
You getting old over here, setting up on us?
No, but do you notice I'm staticking as I go up and down?
Yeah.
So I touch the screws on the light switch,
dude,
to dissipate the
discharge
the static electricity.
Yeah.
I just stretch my pants. You know, you're sitting here so long, scooting around, you get your bunched up a little bit in your your crotchal region. You know that. You stand up periodically.
Yes, I do. It's called balls are being bound. I got that. But yeah, it's been a fun thing around IT stuff. I mean, yesterday the IT department at the company I work for informed me that they wanted to set me up with the cloud called OneNote.
No.
Don't fucking do it.
I don't trust it.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a choice.
The cloud, it just goes.
I didn't have a choice.
Where's it go?
This is a corporate computer, so I got to I have to do this.
Yeah.
No big deal. IT department, they get on there with Teams and they.
If you have to do it, I would say don't put anything personal on it, because
here's
that
the
literally
thing.
does go to a huge database owned by
I told
whoever
them
owns
very
it.
clearly. I said there are 2 documents on here that belongs to litigation, and my 88-year-old mother's involved with. I can't. I need to download those onto my external hard drive. And he's like, "Oh no, we can save them. No big deal."
Yeah, it's a big deal, motherfucker.
Well,
Yeah,
this
you know,
afternoon
like,
I
even
get
after
on my
you delete
computer.
that, it's still on it.
Yeah,
You got to figure out how to hard wipe it.
I get on my, it's in the cloud. I get on my computer this afternoon. Well, I was on all day, but then I decided I needed to search up a file, a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
I went to my main screen, my home screen, and realized that it fucking wiped my computer. Had nothing on it at all. It's like gone.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me, dude?
No, I'm not.
And the dumbest thing about that is that data is somewhere on some hard drive. You know, it's stored somewhere.
Well, we got it back, but you know, it totally changed my whole computer.
Right.
So I spent 2 hours going through there and organizing shit and putting and searching stuff down, because I was able to get them to download everything back onto my hard drive. So
Right. Yeah.
and I pulled shit off onto my external hard drive. But talk about a nightmare! It was
Dude, I didn't ask you to. I authorized you to put me in the cloud. I didn't authorize you to wipe my fucking hard drive and take all my data hostage.
And then after they do that,
take it fucking hostage.
You
dude.
don't have access, but whoever the fuck else has your backup,
has
free access to all your shit.
You know, I've had that issue and that anger and resentment with Apple for the longest time. I fucking hate Apple for that. We use a 2nd generation iPad down there to control the house mix system. The system that we use is a digital mixer, and so I can log into it. I can log into it with my laptop. I can log into it with a tablet. I can log into it with my phone. I can pull up the app right now with my phone, and I can control limited features. But with the computer, I can control anything. With a tablet, I can control most things. Actually, almost everything. This gives me all functionality. That gives me the majority of functionality. This gives me limited functionality. Okay? Either way, the way the digital mixer works is you want to be able to have it across devices, right? I mean, if Brady really needed to, or Chicago Jim needed to, I've given them the app information. They can pull the app up and control their own ear mix, for their in-ear audio, their monitors. Either way, I come down there the other day and I had told them to fuck off for like 2 months straight. Okay? I told Apple to fuck off because it kept wanting me to log in. Every week or 2, it keeps asking me to log in. Verify your password. Verify your password. I'm like, I didn't unverify my password, you fucks. Why do I need to verify my password? And they keep doing it. Well, I ignored it, and 2 months of ignoring it, and I come down the other day, and we're getting ready for band practice or something, and I'm completely locked out of the tablet.
Yeah.
It wanted me to sign in completely. It not only did it log out, not only did it wasn't just asking for the password anymore. It was like, type in your name, type in your login name and your password, or we're not letting you in. Well, I got to go to my fucking phone and look that shit up because I don't use that stuff. I store it on my, I got it in an protected Excel file. So I had to do that. And I must have typed it in wrong the first time, so it said incorrect. I'm like, motherfucker. Because if I was a 10-year-old with a fucking cell phone that grew up in this technology, I could hack into this shit without thinking, and yet I got to play fucking games with you. And here's the biggest thing. It's a 2nd generation iPad. Do you know that they're not supported anymore? Apple doesn't support it anymore. Apple won't let you. The vast majority, if I go on the Apple store, the, what do they call that? The fuck you store? Huh?
iTunes.
No. Apple Store, whatever the Apple Store is. It's not App Store, but it's the app, whatever. If you go in the store.
Apple App Store.
Yeah, the Apple App Store, whatever. It will say the majority. Like, I can't do YouTube on that tablet.
Yeah.
Because the YouTube Apple app isn't supported by that thing, by that tablet. and I can't upgrade the iOS for that tablet. But you want to bug me week in and fucking week out to log in, and then you want to further shut me completely the fuck out. You don't support the fucking operating system. You don't support the apps that are required for the old operating system to give me a retro ability to do it. I have to literally go into the old version of Safari and just type in youtube.com if I wanted to watch YouTube on that old tablet. I'm like, look at the only fucking reason I use it is because it does work for the mixer that we use in the house. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. There's no other use for it.
Yeah.
There are no apps I can get for that thing that work because they no longer support it. But they bug me. And the whole reason I brought that up was one of the things they bug me about every 3 weeks or so is the family cloud, the Apple family cloud. And there's no option to go, fuck you, I don't want to do it. You have to click this button and then go into the settings and say, I don't want to do this.
Oh, yeah. We'll delay it until tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't want to load anything up in the fucking cloud.
We'll delay it till the next day.
In the family cloud. But you could share everything in the family cloud. You don't give me you haven't updated the fucking operating software on this thing in how many years? Not months, fucking years.
Yeah.
You send out a thing saying this device is no longer supported. Why? Because we're in the business of making our shit prematurely obsolete, so you have to buy new shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to hack the fuck out of this thing and make it work as long as I can because there's nothing wrong with it.
That's what I did with.
You know what's wrong with it?
The iPod
fucking,
Touch.
Yeah.
I would just, because you take them, and the exact same thing. It was. We would buy a used one, cheaper, or someone would give us one that was broken. We'd fix it.
I got them offline for years, broken, and I'd fix the screen.
But it would be like a year after the thing came out.
Right.
Should still work. Yeah. Should still be fine with everything, included in the package.
Yep.
Right? Not the case. Everything's fucking gone. You can't use anything anymore. It's all too futuristic for the technology, the hardware in the machine. So
it's
I would
bullshit.
figure out how to jailbreak them, which is basically you move a different operating system, and it would every single time it would be Android, or it'd be Linux based, which is everything Android.
Android, yeah.
Android's built on Linux based software.
Correct.
So you would put Linux basically on these devices. It would run. It'd be the same display, all the same look and feel of everything on the machine, but you had access to all those things that the App Store
wouldn't give you
because they were all updated.
Yeah.
Right?
They updated to make it obsolete.
How can I do this if I put a different operating system on it? How come I can access all this shit? But if I go on your operating system, all that stuff's, it's too updated. It doesn't support my machine.
They make it obsolete and fucked up as that was why my concern with upgrading with Windows 11. And I read through it and I waited and I read through it and I'm like, all right, and I did it on the tower first. But I did it on the tower. But I read beforehand that there was a way to restore it, right? To go back to Windows 10. I'm like, dude, there hasn't been a great Windows operating
7.
system since Windows XP. Windows XP was solid.
Well, I like Windows 7 because it was the original. It was the original one. It had the most updates.
Yeah.
But
there's so much.
It was the most
robust.
streamlined one that covered all aspects.
Here's the thing. One of the things
you can still use it now, and it'd run totally fine.
One of the things that it wouldn't update with some of the new programs. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
But one of the big things with
but there's a way you could get it to
with Windows and what they do. This is one of the faults of it. The reason why you have to restart the program is it's updating the registry. We understand that. But one of the other things that it does is it doesn't rewrite the code. That's where Apple, their software is superior. Their business model's shit because they won't support their older models. that are still working fine, right? But they won't support the older models. But with Windows, they don't say, okay, we're going to rewrite these 10 lines of code that are fucked up now. They write 20 new lines of code, 10 that nullify the 10 previous code and 10 that supplant it. So when you load up, it doesn't go through just 10 lines of code. It goes through 30 fucking lines of code. 10 that were shit, 10 that overwrite the shit, and then 10 that rewrite the new shit. And you go, so now I've got 400,000 lines of fucking code. When if we had a clean, fresh thing operating system, well, if we had a good, authentic operating system, I can't even say a fresh, clean, a good operating system, you could do it in a Linux version, Unix, Ubuntu. You could do it in 30,000 lines of code versus 400,000 lines of code. I'm just pulling those numbers off the top of my head just to give a comparison. But you're right. We've jailbreak a number of different systems because they plan to make this shit obsolete. They're trying to make it useless. I got a box full of fucking stuff over there. I've got one of my old phones that was a great phone. It was doing great. In fact, it worked great. Once I wiped it and got rid of all the shit that had collected in it that was making it run down, once again, it ran great, especially when you go back to the original factory spec software. Because every time they do an update, I guarantee you the majority of these updates are putting in artificial issues to make your battery slower or to charge less and to do all this. They're fucking doing it on purpose. Like, how come when I got an update, now my phone doesn't last as long through the day? Oh, you got a new version coming up. That's why this is an LG. I'm going to keep this until this fucker gets destroyed. You know why? Because LG stopped making cell phones. So you know what? There's no fucking, other than Android updates, but there's no big, overwhelming firmware updates that are going to fuck with this phone and make the battery go shit.
Cool. That's a good thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as soon as I factory restored the exact other model I have of this, guess what? Works just fine. In fact, I picked it up today. We had it. It was sitting over there on the thing. I went over and picked it up. I'm like, man, the battery's got to be getting low on this. It's been sitting over here all day long waiting for Vince to pull some video stuff out of it. I pick it up. It had 98%. I was like, I never had fucking 98%. But because I wiped it, and all we do now is use it for doing video here in the man cave, and I have the apps for controlling the audio video system here in the house, which I have it on my phone, that phone, three other tablets here, as well as the remote controls. But I can pick up any of his tablets, and I can control when we're playing Pandora, or we're playing, or we're watching a Blu-ray or watching a movie or something like that. I can control the whole fucking thing off my phone.
That's cool.
That's great technology.
Yeah.
But
they load it down with all kinds of shit.
Bloatware.
It makes it slow down. I didn't get to indulge you with the other two fun things that when they updated my computer.
Tell us.
These are far more interesting because now I have these authenticator things on my cell phone. Mm-hmm. So if I want to open up a software package like Salesforce on my computer, I have to get a fucking code that goes to my phone that I plug into the system so that it says, yeah, it's me, and it lets me in. Now, okay, that's fine, except for the fact that if I'm on the phone with you and we're talking about something and I want to pull up your account, I got to get an authenticator code. Sorry for the wait, Doc. I know you're busy, but can you wait a couple minutes while I figure this shit out? That doesn't make any fucking ridiculous sense. Now, here's the one that's a little more bothersome to me, is that it puts a GPS program into your phone, well, your phone has it anyway,
right,
and your computer, which logs exactly where you're working from on any given day.
Oh, that's fun.
Into the cloud, so they know where you're at. And what it does is it sends you an authenticity code 3 times at that location to verify that you're actually at that location. So you got to fucking deal with that. And I'm like, what was the first thing I said to you when I came in here today? it's time to fucking retire.
Oh, yeah. You're like, I'm really leaning towards retirement. Because you said to me, you know what? I want to see it through. And that's one thing I've been, you're one of my close friends. And you are a steadfast and consistent part of my life. And so I think about you on a regular basis. And when I think about you, that's also a time to speak in the atmosphere and say a little prayer for you. And, and maybe it was part of it today because I was anticipating being on the show and just what urinate. Urinate. I was thinking about it with what we're doing, and I'll switch to us as I spill my drink.
Oh, no, don't do that. It's good.
It's good. It's just not. It's just a sugary thing. It's not your normal flavor.
Right. Yeah.
But I see what I keep close because we're messy fucks.
Happens.
But I was thinking about it today, and I just heard your words. In my head, I was like, well, Patrick said the other day to me. I said, well, if you're thinking about retirement, then put it in motion and get yourself out. And one of the things you said was, I want to see it. I built this department. I built this section of the company, and I really want to see it through. And so I've been meditating on that for you and with you, going, all right, Lord, whatever Patrick's supposed to do to finish what to get to the place he feels like he's finished his part of that journey, let him complete that so that he feels fulfilled. Because there's nothing more. There's a few more things that are detrimental. I say that with a grain, with a little bit of caveat, but there aren't. There's very few things in life where you don't feel like you've completed that process, whatever the process is. When you don't feel like that you've come to completion on it, when you leave that or are forced to leave that or preempted to not finish it, you don't. I mean, how many movie scenes have we seen or testimonials have we heard of people that didn't get to finish something and they felt incomplete? And you feel completed when you get to finish those moments. You get to bring that thing to fruition.
This is true, but there's a caveat to this.
Yeah.
And the caveat is that I'm attached to somebody else's train, and if they keep changing how you're supposed to get on and off the train, they change the rules or they move the goalposts, so to speak.
Yeah.
It makes it a little more difficult to actually see where you're going to get to a place where it's going to take off and do it and do its own thing. And there's some other challenges in there that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
But I started shifting the thought pattern to what is going to put a smile on my face and want to get me out of bed in the morning and actually get at it and make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling less enthusiastic.
Less enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, again, you are 65.
Yeah.
We just celebrated your birthday.
Yeah.
There is no legitimate reason for you to continue to work other than your drive and your tenacity to want to work. You've reached an age in life where you're like, you know what? And I watched my mom do this. You guys have that tune in the show. You've seen Grandma Connie on here. I watched her go through that.
Yeah.
She took time off when she first got married to my stepdad, and then she ended up working at the little local country store down the road. And then she finally got, when I was out of the house, she finally got back into running stores, and she ran stores for years. She ran maternity work. She ran Harry and David's, even to the point where she was helping set up other stores, and then they got bought out and downsized, and then she worked at Longaberger. She ran that corporate world. She was a kick-ass store manager. Whatever store she ran, unless the upper management hampered her from success, she made that store the best store in her region. but she got to a certain point, and she was working with Leslie and Annie, and she was, doing part-time stuff and like that. And she's like, you know what? I'm of retirement age. I've got, part of a pension from my stepdad. They're divorced now, but she got that part in the settlement, and because they were married for a lot of years. Anyways, she had that, and she had her Social Security, and she had some other stuff, and she's like, you know what? I've set up my finances to where I know what I have coming in, and then anything extra that I do, then I make it work. And she can travel and she can do other stuff. And I go, but I watched her make that transition to where she still needed to be active, and she still needed to have things that pulled on her to be active. It's one thing to be active, but we can't all be completely self-motivated. There's times. Yesterday, I was still recovering from the Super Bowl party. We hung out. We had a great time. I went to bed late, of course, and then I was going to sleep in. I was like, we discussed it before we, after the show, or after the, at the end. I said, what time are you going to be here tomorrow? And Annie and Mom and Leslie all said, well, you know what? Nobody wants to get up early. We'll get here about 11. I said, okay. Well, my one buddy, Dan, was coming over to do some electrical work. He starts texting me at 7, 8 o'clock at night Sunday night, and says, hey, my guy's going to come over. He was going to do some electrical work at the house. And I'm like, okay. So at 8:30, my alarm goes off like normal on Monday, and I'm going to sleep in, right? No. And I hit the snooze on it, and then I go, oh, fuck, Dan's guy's going to be here. So I get out of bed, and I come down here, and I'm like, I got up out of bed, and I filled Tanya's mom in, and I'm like, this guy, the work he wanted, he's coming to do it today. So I come down here, took Vince a while. Actually, he was sleeping while we were cooking. Annie cooked, did the cooking show, and then he's up here editing. He's like, I was up till like 5 editing. I'm like, oh shit. And at a certain point, I was sitting in the chair next to him with a laptop in my lap, and I nodded off 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, I gotta go to hockey.
Oh man.
5 o'clock skate Monday, 5 o'clock skate, and I'm like, so what I'm saying, long story short, is I had to push myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At certain points, but then, so I pushed myself because somebody's coming, they're depending on me, but then I had to push myself because Vince is doing stuff, and I saw the editing he was doing was looking great. And then the other converse things was, I knew Grandma and Annie and Leslie were going to be here. And then I knew I needed to be at hockey. The guys, I'm a goalie, so I can't bail on them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't call off and just hope that they have fun. With a goalie in a hockey drop-in, they're kind of depending on you.
Yeah, that's kind of an important part of the equation. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I watched Mom do that, where she had things that were, she could motivate herself to do this and this and this and this, but at other times she needed to be pulled on to feel a pull of motivation, but not so much that she felt overwhelmed, but so much enough to where it got her up and going. She's like, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we made a decision to do this because it got me going. And that's where I'm looking at you with it. I'm like, you know what? Patrick's got to finish this journey for himself. And I know this for myself, building houses for years. When you're framing houses, you come in and you build the structure. And then at a certain point, you're done. Yeah. You've framed the house, There's actually very few photos of the houses we've framed in their completed state. I've gone back, I've seen some of the stuff, but very rarely do we see the entire project because we came in and we framed the house, or we came in and we did this aspect of the house, and then all these other trades came in and did their work. Yep. So you don't get to see the full, so you have to know, I finished my portion. And that's one of the things I've been thinking about with you is I say, Lord, make sure Patrick knows his portion is filled. Your portion is finished. Versus feeling like you have to finish the whole fucking thing. You have to finish the whole thing. You have to finish your portion. And you just said it, and I love it. I got to know that what's going to get me up and put a smile on my face in the morning. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've done it? You know, to where you can walk away from it with a smile on your face and feel like, I took it as far as I could. You know, sometimes you're not supposed to take it all the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're supposed to be the second leg, the second baton carrier in the four-man.
You're the one that kicks it off.
Yeah, you're the starter.
Yeah.
You started with the baton.
Yeah.
But then you pass the baton and you trail off into the side and get some water.
Well, I'm proud of what I've done with this thing. I took it in 2017 when I took this project over. I'm just going to say this and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
In 2017, when I took this thing over, the sales around ultrasound in this company was $45,000. In the last 2 years consecutively, it's been $8.2 million.
That's a fucking accomplishment, dude.
Yeah, they wanted 11. It's like, yeah, that didn't quite happen, but.
You took it from, what was the first number?
45,000.
45,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Took it up to 8 million.
8.2 million.
And they go, well, we kind of wanted 11.
Yeah.
You go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
When I came in, it was 45K.
Yeah.
We're at 8.2.
That reminds me of this place I worked at. I'm not going to name names, but I worked at this factory, right? And they put me on this machine. It's a $3 million CNC machine, right? And it had 2 cycles every hour, right? Yeah. So I'm on an 8-hour shift, right? So I meet the guy who runs the machine, and he had a sidekick, an assistant, the whole time he was running it. And they go, all right, this guy's getting 12 cycles. We expect you to get 12 cycles. Because I was hired in with a certificate, because I took a class, like a 6-week class. So they expected me to run this machine flawlessly, first machine they ever put me on. So I'm working this machine, right? And it's like you have 2 tombstones, and it was doing all the ends for the Dodge Ram tie rods. So it would have a boring machine that would come in, and it would hit the end and zzz, and it would cut the whole thing. So you'd have like a flat cylinder, almost like a lathe, but it was like it had inserts on the inside of it, so it would go zzz, and give you a nice smooth cylinder.
Yeah.
And then they'd have one that comes in and does the next diameter, and so on and so on, and they have like a little flat one that goes on there, cuts a little flat spot. So it took about 45 minutes per cycle, right? And what I mean by that is it would take a raw piece, raw cast aluminum or whatever it was, probably some kind of steel, mild steel, and I'd put all the parts on 24 on one tombstone. It would cycle into the other side, machine all that shit off, 45 minutes, right? And in that 45-minute time slot, I'd have to take 24 off the other side and then hit them all with a grinder on all the specific points where there were burrs on it and deburr all of that shit 24 times in a row, right? And then I would have to put new pieces on before the other side was done, right? So I was about 2 weeks into that job on that machine, and I thought, I'm kind of getting the hang of this, getting used to it. I wasn't really keeping track of how many cycles I did per day because they didn't tell me, hey, we want you to get these many cycles.
Right.
So 2 weeks later, I'm running this machine, and this is like 2 weeks. So I worked there 2 months before that. 2 whole months on different machines all around the shop. And they put me on this one machine that had 2 guys on it.
Before you.
Before me.
And now you're
and
one
guy. They put
guy.
me on it alone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after I started on that machine, the manager brought me back into his office and he goes, "I'm going to have to let you go." And I'm like, "What?"
What?
What do you mean, let me go? And he goes, well, we need 12 cycles per day on that machine. I was like, okay, how many do I get per day? And he goes, you're only getting 11. Fucking fired me because I was one cycle less than 2 guys previously.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. 2 guys were doing 12 cycles, and I alone was doing 11 a day.
Yeah.
And they fired me.
It was a blessing to get the hell on out of there for yourself, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And,
Right.
And they probably put 2 guys on it again afterwards, you know.
They probably put those exact same guys back on it,
Right.
and they were
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
I know when I left the countertop place that I was working at years ago. I had a run-in the month before. 2 of the guys that ran the CNC machines. I wasn't trained on the CNC. I was
See, I didn't have to do anything with coding.
Right.
Like, I knew how to write programs, right?
Right.
I didn't have to do any of it.
I was I
just had to read it and make sure it wasn't getting any errors.
Right. So when I joined the company, there'd been a guy that had been there like 5 years. And he was one of the go-to guys in the company, right? Well, I joined the company and quickly they recognized I was one of the go-to guys, meaning that if something other than countertops needed to be handled in the shop, if we need to frame some walls or hang some drywall and mud it or do any number of other things that wasn't this strict idea of putting in a countertop, that me and the guy that had 5 years working there had the ability and experience to come in and do anything. At one point, I redid the entire Ethernet network. I redid the whole network, all the computer networks, and the computers were CAD networks.
Yeah.
So this computer needed to be able to talk to this one because we had countertops that worked off of CAD programs. And I redid the whole fucking network in the one shop, you know. So I was one of those go-to guys, one of 2 go-to guys. So when we built the stone shop, they had went from Corian countertops into a stone division. I was one of the guys that needed that was there to help. They pulled our truck off the road and said, "You're going to help us build the stone shop." You know, so I'm in there. I'm threading black pipe. I'm in the we had a huge water pit. You had a pit full of water because it would feed the CNC and it couldn't run. You know, the CNC had to have its own water supply so that it could keep spraying, and it recycled the water and filtered and did a bunch of shit. So we did all that infrastructure, right? Well, while I'm doing that with the owners, working hand in hand with the owners, next to all the guys, they sent off these 2 other guys to take CNC training out in Minnesota. They come back, and they know how to run the CNC. Well, I'm the guy that's in a fucking full wetsuit, okay? Pants and a jacket and gloves, polishing the fucking... So you can only do so much on the CNC machine. Then the tops come over to my station, and I've got to polish the bottom by hand. Like 8 pads. 8 degrees of polishing pads. Heavy duty and then all the way down to a fine pad. So when you reach underneath the countertop, you feel a smooth edge. Well, that was me sanding that shit down. While I'm doing that, I'm also keeping, at the time we had the Nextel phones with the push-to-talk, where we're in these big steel buildings,
2-way,
and the push-to-talk doesn't fucking work.
Oh, boy.
Inside the building. Because it's in a big metal building and it has to go out to the cell tower and then come back, right? They're not straight walkie-talkies.
Right.
So I'm there. The Nextel guy comes in and puts a repeater in the office or in the building. I'm there coordinating with him. I'm doing all of these other tasks, right? And I had this big blowout with these 2 guys because they literally delivered the top over to my area. They were fucking late for whatever reason. Like, we got the stone late or whatever it was. They got this on the CNC late. I got a truck sitting there waiting to take it out and install this top, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. The truck should have been gone by 8 with this top from the night before. It got all delayed. I'm over in the office talking to my immediate supervisor, who became my supervisor because I became part of the Stone division. But before that, I was direct with the bosses, right? There was 4 owners. 1 retired, so it was 3 owners that we were direct with that I had great communications with. And and one of these CNC guys walks in the office. He goes, "You're just gonna fucking stand around all day long? You're gonna do some fucking work?" I'm like, "What? You've been here a year. I've been here for 3 years. What the fuck are you talking about?" You know? And I looked over at my supervisor, and he didn't back me up. I was like, "Oh." And I said, I was looked at him and goes, "Well, I can quit today. In fact, I can quit right now." "No, don't do that. Don't do that. Take the weekend and think it over." I was like, "I'm not going to have this fucking guy over here talk to me that way. I did 3 other things for this company that don't involve countertops today." And he finally brings over the top 10 seconds ago, and I got and because I'm not standing there twiddling my thumbs waiting for him to deliver a top, I'm somehow the shit. Where's my top been for 4 fucking hours? How about yesterday? Where was my top so I could finish polishing the bottoms? You know? And it went on for another month. And another one of those guys pulled some shit, and I walked into my boss's office and I said, I'm punching out for good. I warned you a month and a half ago. Long story short, it took 4 fucking guys to replace me. 4 guys. Because I was friends with everybody at the shop. So a month later, I said, "What's going on there? How's everything going?" I said, "I hated to walk. I wanted to give, if I wanted to leave, I'd give 2 weeks notice, all that blah, 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 blah." I'm like, no. The upper management got so overwhelmed because they expanded so quickly and hired so many people so quickly that they didn't take care of their most fundamental loyal people, And I mean, they did, but they did, it's like, it's tough. You can't expand and not pay attention. Yeah. Right? And some things got lost in the shuffle, and I was like, dude, you know what I've done for this company and how loyal I've been. I've sat in the founding owners. So it was a dad and a son that founded a cabinet making company. Yeah. Then they expanded to doing countertops, brought the 2 brother-in-laws in, and so all of them are running. And then the dad retires, so it's the brother and 2 brother-in-laws that are running the whole company. And I sat in all 3 of their offices and said, "Here's my observation from an outside, kind of what I'm seeing. Take it or leave it." I always gave that caveat. I never wanted to walk in and say, "I'm not in your shoes, but this is what I'm seeing." Without exception, my advice was taken. When we tried a new glue for the Corian countertop, tried a different manufacturer glue, me and the other guy that I told you about that was 5 years in the company, we were the 2 guys that they said, "See how it works." And I had one countertop that fell in the truck as we were about to pull it out of the truck, and it split completely, like all of the glue broke apart. And I made the phone call and I said, "Our top just dropped in the thing. Shouldn't have been anything. It just literally rolled. Like as we were moving it, it rolled out of our hands and should have done nothing to it. I've worked with this material for years, right?" And it split apart. I said, "This glue is shit. Replace the glue." There was a number of other things where I was like, "Look, I need this, 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 and this." And they listened. And that's not to say that I was anything, but I was the guy observing in the field, so when I come back to the shop, I'm saying things. I was the guy that knew about management. I'd ran my own company, okay? I'd built condos for years and ran anywhere from a 4 to 10-man crew, okay? So when I'm working for them doing construction, I'm like, I understand running my own shit. Yeah. And I would sit in their office and say, "Here's this and this." And they expanded the point. And I said, "I warned you a month ago that these 2 fucks out here are full of themselves because they think they can run a machine." I said, "They don't know how to run a company. And they're going to fucking be your Achilles heel. They're going to fuck you." Yeah. And it was just, it was shitty to have to walk away because these were guys that my kids were playing hockey with their kids, But when I did walk away and it took 4 people to replace me, I literally talked to 2 different guys. I was like, "Dude, how's it going over there?" He's like, "Dude, Well, that guy's taking over where you were polishing. This guy had to step up and take care of the IT. This guy had to take care of over there when they were doing this stuff, and this guy had to take care of this stuff. So it took like 4 guys to fill in where you were, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, makes you feel good.
Yeah. So it sucks, but at certain points you got to walk away from stuff. Some points but you want to bring it to completion. You want to finish up your.
Well, I like the company. I like what I do. I'm really good at it, and but I'm concerned. They've gotten too corporate. They've got too many hurdles that are in the path of actually doing things that make you successful.
That's the key right there.
Yeah.
When I went from the countertop company, went from being very family oriented and everybody knew everybody, and in 1 year, we went from being very family oriented to hiring on and purchasing 4 new trucks. All right, we had 3 or 4 trucks doing installs, okay? The next year we had 8 trucks doing installs. In that year, we went from, it was one of the best Christmas bonuses I ever got. Some
nice.
boot. And then the next year, the bosses are coming in and apologizing to us old guys. And I'm old guys, I mean guys that had been there, and saying, we're really sorry. We hit a little bit of a, doubt, because they expanded so big, and then they hit a lull, which happens, and instead of anticipating the lull, right, they saw we've got a demand for countertops, we got to fill it right now, and I walked in the office a couple times, and they said, man, we got so many orders. I said, well, then tell them that it's going to be 6 weeks out instead of 3 weeks out. Well, we've never done more than 3 weeks out. We can't shift off that, so we're going to hire some new guys. I said, hiring new guys means training new guys, means getting new trucks, means other stuff. I said, why not tell them that you're 4 or 5 weeks out, maybe 6 weeks out? We can't do that. That's your own standard. Let them be 6 weeks out. They didn't do that.
And so when they hit the lull, they had these extra payroll.
I spent 6 weeks redoing shit in the factory. I'm like, what? You pull your best guys. They pull their best guys off the trucks because the best guys could also do all sorts of other shit.
Right, yeah.
And I get that. Yeah. And they always took care of us. That was part of the family aspect of it. Was they never laid you off. They would find work for us to do. Remodel these offices. Redo the computer systems. Redo this other stuff. We got some downtime, and we'll keep these other trucks where these guys can't fucking do anything other skill. They don't have any other skill. I mean. I was one of the trucks that, because I worked with the guy that had been there for 5 years. He trained me, but he trained me. I was trained within a month. I knew exactly what I was doing. They gave me a truck within 7 months, just because it took time to give me a truck. And then I had my own partner that I trained, and his truck and my truck were one of the 2 trucks that got called on all the other shit the other guys fucked up.
Yeah.
We would have to swing. Okay, can you swing? Where are you guys at? Or they knew where we were at. We didn't need their scheduling. They're like, hey, you're over here? Yeah. Are you guys finished up? Yeah, we've got about half an hour. We finished up. All right, swing by this other job. Need to take a look at that. And I'd get over there and go, I'd have to go out in the truck. And I go, who the fuck did this job? Well, it was truck number 4. Oh, it was those 2? Dave, stop. Or Mike. I'd be like, Mike, stop sending those fucking guys on these jobs. Send them on tops that we don't have to do a seam. Send them on stuff where they just got to silicone a fucking top in and do a couple screws here and there for the dishwasher and a few other things and put some backsplash in. I know, we were a little short. I'm like, dude, they don't know how to fucking sand out a seam. I got to fix this fucking seam. We're going to be here for another 3 hours. All right, we'll make it right. Okay, I'll make it right. I'll make it right. I know. And I walked in the office one time and Mike says, he's just got this look. I goes, what's up, Mike? Another fucked up job? He goes, dude. He goes, man. He goes, what the fuck? And he looked at me and he goes, I know, you wouldn't have fucked it up. He just looked at me. He was going to start explaining how you don't fuck up the job, right? He was going to start explaining to that. And he just caught himself and he's like, you wouldn't have fucked it up in the first place, so I don't even need to explain. I goes, Mike, stop sending these fucking idiots on these jobs. Send me in the other truck out there. We'll make sure it's done right. You know? And he goes, I know. But we get, and so that was the corporate model where they got so big that you lose that touch. And they were great guys. I still love them to this day. If I saw them today, you know, Mike and Dave and John, and even Val was the old man, they were just phenomenal people. You know what they would do? They had 100 acres. Vince remembers. They had 100 acres where the original shop was, okay? Where they originally started making countertops. They would make fucking syrup because they had maple trees on that 100-acre stand. And they would make syrup in an old log cabin, a little cabin on the property back in the woods. They would tap these maple trees, and they would make syrup, and they had them specially bottled, and they would give every single employee a homemade bottle of maple syrup.
How awesome is that? That's
It's fucking incredible. And then a few of their big distributors, right? Big sales showrooms, they would go and offer them a bigger bottle, stuff like that. That's the type of company they were. But then they got into the corporate, and they got so big, and you lose that touch.
Yep.
And that's where you're at.
Yep.
Is where they get so big. Yep. I watched it with my mom. When my mom started working with Harry and David's, they were still family owned. They were still doing their thing, and then they sold out or got bought out, whatever the fucking case was. And the next thing you know, she's saying, look, this shit doesn't sell in my store. This shit sells in this store in Birch Run, but it doesn't sell in my store in Great Lakes Crossing. Right?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get the same stuff. So I went with her sometimes. Vince went with her. Right? She would load up the van, because we had a family at 18-passenger or 15-passenger Ford van with those big, huge Econolines.
Yeah.
We'd pull out a couple back seats. She would load up the back of the fucking van with all the shit that got delivered to her store, take it to Birch Run, and swap out with the Birch Run store all of her inventory. They would swap out inventory, and she'd go, this shit doesn't sell up here, my shit sells up here. And she kept battling with corporate saying, look, stop fucking sending me a generic list of shit for my store.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
I need this. This sells. They had what they called towers, right? So it was this box of truffles and this box of chocolates and this box of Moose Munch and this box of this. And they would have these fucking towers, right? And it's over in Great Lakes Crossing. It's right there, in the big, that trifecta of, Detroit, and there's Chrysler over there and all that shit. And these corporate guys would come in, or corporate gals would come in, and they'd go, I need 30-year towers. Did you ever do a delivery for those? No. But I was there around when we would do delivery. Vince, did you ever do a truck? Did you ever unload a truck with Grandma? I know Nicole worked down there. My daughter, what's Nicole, 27, 26 right now? She's 26. No, she's to be 27. She's 27. She worked in the store with Grandma. She would run the cash. She came in there, and I think she's 10 or 11. And she's hanging out with Grandma, doing, go work with your grandma, whatever the fuck day that was. But there was more days than that. But she's in there, and she's working with Grandma. She's running that cash register, and within, half an hour, she's got that fucking cash register down. She's banging it out, and she's checking out stuff. So there were times where I was there, my buddy Keith was there. I don't know about Al and Vince as much, but I know Nicole, you went down there a few times, didn't you?
I think all of
us helped out.
All of us have been there. I remember times where, it was just me and Grandma there. And she would have me stocking the little tables,
right
up in the front.
Yeah.
Or organizing shit, or just making stuff look professional,
because
lining everything up.
That was one of the other corporate things, is they would give her a limited amount of hours to do stuff. Well, she's like, well, my grandkids want to hang out with me. I'll just take my grandkids in. They'll help me out because they're industrious and they want to do stuff, right? Yeah. So she's taking them in, doing child labor.
Well, well, it'd be child labor if we were on
On a payroll.
Yeah.
Well, she made sure you were fed and made sure you were taken care of.
Yeah, we were not monetarily.
You were not monetarily
incentivized.
compensated for that.
Yeah.
But that's my point is whenever you get these companies and they grow so big and then they lose touch. And you get some corporate bean counter that fucking loses touch. And then that company, I look at Harry and David today. They have a phenomenal pedigree. But they're fucking up that company. Because they've become so corporatized and counting their fucking beans that they've lost the essence of what made them a company in the first place, you know? I look back, even with Apple, as much as we malign Apple, I look back at Steve Jobs' original model, original ideas, you know? I look back at a lot of companies, their original ideas were good, but now they've become so corporatized and so fucking out there that you're no longer the grassroots essence, the innocence of what you were at the beginning. Now you're some corporate bloated fucking thing. This is give two shits. I mean, look at Amazon's had their. How many fucking commercials are out right now? Some good alcohol. How many corporate commercials are out right now for Amazon? Because they're having to rehab their image of how shitty they've been to their employees. Yeah. People that been in factories that fucking like work to death in their fucking factories in America, right? Yeah. To where they've had heart attacks and shit in their factories, let alone Apple's doing slave labor and shit over in China. But I'm talking about here in America. Amazon treats their employees like shit, and the reason that they have to do these fucking commercials like they're doing is because they treat them like shit. You know what? If you're a good company, you don't have to do a commercial on how good you are as a company.
That's true. Yeah.
And what is Amazon doing? Oh, I just love working for Amazon. I used to have to work 2 jobs. There's this lady right now. They're one of this lady they're promoting. I used to have to work 2 jobs, and then I got to work at Amazon, and now I only have to work 1 job. Well, you know what? If you're legitimate, kudos to you and accolades and all that shit. The fact that you have to do a commercial about it, tells me there's some shit going on.
There has been this thing that's been called the Great Resignation. There's just a lot of people have just walked away from their jobs on all levels. So I've had enough. I'm not going to do it anymore. So
absolutely.
And it's kind of reshaping the way our business structure is and the way our country is.
Well, and the pandemic bullshit also had a great factor in the amount of people that could walk away from jobs that they half-heartedly wanted to do.
Right.
I've never really worked at a job. I will say this. I've worked at jobs for a week or 2 that were shit. But I've never worked at a job for a long time that I didn't feel invested in. Oh, you're responding to Grandma.
It's group text.
I thought you were sending me a text. I'm like, why are you sending me a text across the table from me?
You're in the group.
You're in the group. Grandma landed.
She landed.
Yeah, she landed.
She landed.
She landed, and she said she's good.
It's in Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Where it's warm.
Hanging out with Greta.
It's not that bad here now, though. I mean, geez, we went to.
Huh?
It's not that bad here outside now.
You know what's supposed to be
48.
8 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everything's going to fucking melt and be slushy as shit.
It was like a high of 10 in Traverse City last weekend. That was freaking ridiculous.
What was a negative 4? You had a -7 or something like that.
Yeah.
What was that, Sunday night?
Yeah.
Monday morning? It was like a negative. Dude, you walk outside and it's like it's like walking on porcelain. It just feels like it's just this like thin porcelain. It's just smashing underneath your feet every time you walk. Like you're like, holy shit! Yeah. Am I breaking something? Yeah. When it gets that frigid, and that's what those truckers are dealing with in Canada.
Yeah, and they're just taking fuel from them. What the fuck is that?
Those sons of bitches. Let's talk about that for a minute. These fucking guys. So Trudeau, I didn't get to this. Did I pull it up? I did pull it up. Fuck you, Trudeau.
You had it up a minute ago.
I did, right there.
There it is, yeah.
So this fucking twat. What?
You see the one that's on my screen?
What's on your screen? I'll go to it.
The best we can do is freeze your bank account and cancel your insurance.
That's the best they can do?
Best we can do.
You're number 7. And let's go to auto. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, who the fuck does he think he is? Like, if you're trying
best we can do is freeze your bank account and cancel your insurance.
Like, dude, who the fuck do you think you are? You know? Oh,
you get what that is, right?
If you're supporting them and giving them money.
But that's the meme from that's the pawnbrokers, the
Pawn
Vegas
stars.
Vegas Pawn Stars.
Oh, okay.
They're superimposing the meme of their faces. You know, hey, you came in with your story, and the best we can do is freeze your account and cancel your insurance.
Yeah.
You can't really lift the restrictions and do anything productive. It amazes me these fuckers get on here and go, they're not allowing people to go to work. They're not allowing people to go shopping. These truckers have shut down the whole city so that people can't function. What the fuck did you do for 2 years? Destroying people's fucking lives.
You know what
Get
I
some,
gotta say
Patrick.
about that?
Get some.
Here's what I got to say about that.
That's a good rack. Boom. That's a good rack.
That's a good rack.
You're so glad I put that fucker back on there.
That's right.
And now it's at a good location.
Yep.
It's a little bit lower than what it was.
Looks good there too.
Yeah, it does, right?
The new sign.
Under the new sign. And did you see the new signs all lit up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the wall. I'm gonna go to the wall shot.
It changes.
So the new shot is the sign is actually lit up this week. Last week I had it up there, but it wasn't lit up. I like broke the tab as I was putting together.
This thing here.
Now I rerouted it, so I put it on that side, and it's all tagged in place and everything like that. And so I got some other things I'm going to do to it, and because Vince and I are really bad at recording videos, I'm going to redo the sign in such a way that I record all the elements of it, and then we'll post that on the makers.
You're not bad at recording videos. You just forget to record videos.
Right.
You're in the process of building things.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? We're really good at making things, but we're going to get better at making videos of making things.
Yeah.
You'll be in some of them. I know you want to get in here.
Oh, yeah,
Can you switch back to my screen real
I
quick?
can switch back to you. Where you want to be, let's see. Are we back to you?
So at the top, you got a church building burning down with fire trucks outside, spraying it down. And Trudeau says, "This is unacceptable and wrong, but I understand your anger." So on the bottom, you got the Freedom Convoy, which is the only reason they're there is because these so-called mandates are fucking up everybody's lives.
Right.
Okay, so
can you maximize that a little bit? Go up on your top corner and give me a little bit more of your. Go up on your settings and give you a little bit more screen. Zoom up. Give some more of that Trudeau fuck. There you go. That's good. Now click and now scroll down. There you go.
So the top one of a church is burning. This is unacceptable and wrong, but I understand the anger. And then the bottom one, we're against mandates. We don't want to be forced to do shit.
Oh.
I need emergency war powers now.
That's nice.
Give me the full power of the military. These people are out of control.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
You know what, Trudeau? Just put on a fucking Batman costume.
Dude, how many times
out of the Capitol and say, "Where are the drugs at?"
How many times has that guy done fucking blackface?
He's pretty sure he has the Guinness World Record
of blackface.
Yeah, of most consecutive days in blackface.
Dude, it's incredible the amount of blackface that guy's done. Final thoughts. Let's get some final thoughts. You guys think about it. But I'm going to pull up another Trudeau fucked up shit. So here's Trudeau What do you got, Patrick? You want the brain? You're getting ready for it? You're getting tired. You were tired when you came in, buddy.
No, I'm not tired.
You're good, though.
I'm good.
All right, so Trudeau declares national emergency. And what's his response? Just what Vince said? We're going to seize your bank accounts, the bank accounts of critics. Yeah, so that's a headline there. Check out that video at band.video. Band.video. What's the new one, Vince? Free
World News.
Freeworldnews.tv.
TV.
Is it TV?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
And then they have a new one, but I can't remember that one.
Check out Brighton Market. We love them, but this was the vodka that we sampled tonight. I'm still sipping on it. Patrick's still sipping on a little bit of it. Vince, because it had a little bit, because Tanya made a mix with pop, he deferred. But we did do the vodka earlier tonight. It's very smooth. It's extremely smooth. She had to add more vodka because you couldn't taste the vodka.
The only thing that we neglected to do was to bring the bottle up and show it to everybody.
Well, that's the exact bottle we have.
I know, but it's
we can bring it up. Patrick loves to put it in front of that camera right there.
The difference.
Tanya, we need that bottle.
Look at it. It's important.
It is important to say we physically have this fucking thing in the house.
We sucked this down and got drunk.
How much of that bottle did we drink down? She tried to claim that bottle right away. I was like, honey, we can get you another bottle. Did you see I brought you some beluga and some other stuff?
Yes, I did.
Well, you're welcome. We tried that beluga vodka last month.
Yeah.
Remember that? I had to pick up another bottle of that. So there's different vodkas for different seasons, different things. I picked up another bottle of the American vodka. We like that. That's some good stuff.
I like that.
The American vodka, yeah. The other one that we've done on the show was the effing vodka, the Four Kings Not Gods.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I had to choose between. I was looking at both of them. I was like, I want a good vodka. I need to replenish our vodka source because we have a variety.
There you go. See,
and I'm like,
you need to join us for the end here.
Oh, I didn't even realize. So the
Ocean vodka.
Not only is it ocean vodka, but the back of the bottle, when you flip it around, Patrick. Well, it says made in Hawaii, but it's got the relief.
Oh yeah.
It's got a relief of the vodka on the back there. Patrick, you want to?
Hold on for a minute.
Do your thing.
Do your thing, Patrick.
Gotta do my thing.
So the ocean part of the bottle has a relief on it. So you see that the letters are raised on the bottle. It's a nice bottle, and it's angled, so it's like a coconut with a cork in it.
It's actually easy to pour, believe it or not.
It is. I did pour it.
I was quite impressed because
when I poured
normally the stubby bottles are hard to pour.
When I poured Vince and I's shots when we sampled it before the show, we did that. You know what, Patrick? Since you're right there, grab that GoPro and just tip it down just a hair.
Ooh, you guys are loud.
There you go. Perfect, Patrick. Yeah, another one, like a nice cannonball.
It's the other thing that we need to mention about that is that this is
organic
vodka.
Yeah,
it's organic.
Organic, yes.
Organic vodka.
Because we like.
Mm-hmm.
And we've read up enough to know it's not just organic in name only. It's actually organic.
It's actually certified organic.
Yeah, it's certified.
Yeah,
well, you can pay for organic certifications.
Apparently, yes, you can, but
it's made in Hawaii. Come on, they wouldn't just rip us off.
They wouldn't be a blue state fox that do shit like that, would they?
They wouldn't do that, right?
No, they would not do that. Vince, you got some more stuff over there? Or are you just Trudeau?
I'm on this page where it says
where's the Trudeau looks like Castro?
That one?
Yeah.
Literally, I guess I should switch the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't have the side by side that you showed me earlier.
Well, his family wasn't. His father was good friends with Fidel Castro.
Actually, what they're saying right now is that Castro is his dad.
Seriously.
Oh dear God.
Yes.
Dude, when you pull up the side
by side,
yeah.
Castro
looks like him.
Dude, do a search on events.
The whole chin structure, the nose, the eyebrows,
fucking
everything.
it's him, dude.
Do you see the family resemblance?
Exactly the same.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Vince, pull up that just do a quick
So I've been sipping on this thing here. It's
I know it's sweet, but that's the best I could do. I didn't have any ingredients they were looking for. I had to totally.
You love that shit, so.
But I let it defizz because I'm not.
Well,
a
so
top
do
fan
that.
Either,
The Ocean vodka is phenomenal. We did enjoy that. It is distilled to a very neutral taste.
That's pretty good.
It is distilled to a very neutral taste. They do have 4. What Tanya's talking about is they had 4 distinct cocktails on their website that the recipes that they talked about. One was more of a martini. It was in a martini glass.
It was something. I tried to do the berry one, but the best I could do was black cherry.
I didn't realize we needed to prep that much for it. Sometimes we fail on that aspect. The vodka itself is a great vodka, but the other I'll switch over. What is that shit?
Unveiled Trudeau's missile attacks against bouncy castles.
Nice. And who are those fucking people?
Those are Karens.
Karens from
the one with the beanie on is the one, the famous one from when Trump won the presidency.
Nice.
But there's another one down here. This one right here.
Dude, you gotta find the.
I survived the 2022 Ottawa bouncy castle insurrection.
Dude, they literally they had bouncy castles in downtown Ottawa around these truckers and like this is not a mostly peaceful insurrection. This is a totally peaceful fucking protest.
Yes,
the only people that have been violent are the people you sent in to be fucking violent.
Yeah, the cops.
They sent cops in and fucked with trucks.
Yeah.
To try to get them to disperse.
I have another
move
story.
along.
Yeah. What do you got?
Which they won't. So
get that
stand your
loaded
ground.
up. I'll switch to you.
Stand your ground.
Intern, switch to Vince.
Right here. Another article. Freedom Convoy spokesman warns of possible false flags involving stolen firearms.
2,000 fucking stolen arms.
You can't have mine. Sorry. No. It's mine. You can't have it.
And who stole them?
It says, today on February 14th, we received information from multiple believed reliable sources that firearms may be planted in Ottawa, specifically around the Freedom Convoy, to discredit the protest and to use as a pretext to forcibly remove peaceful protesters. That is the Freedom Convoy spokesman Daniel Bulford, a sniper who served with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And then he says, due to the nature of this information, we felt it prudent to notify the public in the interest of their safety. This private intelligence correlates with the approximately 2,000 firearms stolen at Peterborough, Ontario on Sunday morning, February 13th.
Interesting. Yeah.
What? That's quite interesting, isn't it?
I haven't heard that in the news. Number of firearms that were stolen there.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to survive that kind of controversy there.
Any other time in history,
if they report the news properly.
If it wasn't happening now, it would have been on the news.
Right.
Any other time.
Any other time.
It'd be national news. Hey, just so you know.
We just saw this thing about the Hillary Clinton campaign and Durham and his findings, and they've made notice that none of the mainstream media networks have said anything about it at all.
Did you see the graph we had
fucking thing, dude.
It was all the mainstream. Yeah. And it said viewers 0 on all of them.
I do have to do a side note. See this little ring? You guys can see this. No, they can't see it because I didn't switch back.
Oh, switch back. Hey.
You guys see this little ring?
Hey, there you go. Yes.
This is a coaster.
Turquoise.
This is a coaster.
Yep.
Okay. Put that on the bottle, Patrick.
Oh, that fits.
That's because that's how the bottle comes. I pulled the coaster off and took it up here. Give it back before Tanya takes it.
It's going in my office.
I will send a request over to Tracy I will send a request over to Tracy at Brighton Market, and I'll say anytime if you feel free to not include this in the sale of the bottle, I will take those.
I'll
I'll take it.
I might go over and want to buy a bottle, and I say, "Hey, where in the hell's my coaster, man?
Where's my coaster?"
Yeah. Oh,
but only if you know that the coaster comes with it.
That's right.
You have to know that. You
It
have
says
to be
right.
in the know.
It says right on the back, made from organic cane sugar. Sugar cane and blended with deep ocean mineral water. Use this as a coaster. No. So it's
Well,
advertisement. No, it'll fit in.
I need to.
No, that.
I don't want that coaster. I want that coaster.
Do you see the hole?
It'll fit.
No, it'll
Trust me,
fit
it'll
inside,
fit.
and the
It'll
coaster will
fit.
be
I
useless.
don't want that one.
Look.
I don't know how this will mix with
Look at
scotch,
this.
but I've been sipping on it. I'm just gonna.
It's literally not going to work. What do you got,
It'll
Vince? Did you
work
find
just
it?
fine, Patrick.
You
I-
found
I
it.
promise.
Maximize that shit. I'm going to switch to you. Maximize it.
Vodka and
Maximize
whiskey
it.
should go just
do
fine
it. Do it. Do
together.
it.
Yeah, right.
Check this shit out. If you want to know who
Oh shit.
Trudeau's dad
Look
is,
at that resemblance there.
it is Fidel fucking Castro, dude.
How in the hell?
That's
can
not
you
a
miss
doppelganger. That's your mom. Fuck that guy.
No. That's your daddy. But if you can't say, who's your daddy?
Who's your
Okay,
daddy?
that's your daddy.
Oh, he resembles
If you
that
don't
guy.
like it,
No,
I
your
don't
mom
care.
fucked him.
It is
No,
what it is.
that's your daddy, baby.
That is freaking
That's
amazing.
your damn daddy.
Jesus. Unbelievable.
Pretty close.
Dude, you put some
Who did we say that was?
You put some glue on pubes on Trudeau's face, and he looks just like his dad. You glue some pubes
That
on
is
his face, and
bad.
they're the same.
Oh, I bet.
That's just like,
if you took the
what
beard,
the hell?
take the stash and the beard off Castro, and he looks like Trudeau.
Right,
He
if you
does.
shave
He
off
looks
the pubes,
exactly like
the
him.
fake pubes off him. I'm sorry that there's some people that can't grow beards. I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
Patrick, look at the fucking beard you grow. You know what I'm saying?
It's a nice beard.
It's a nice beard.
Thank you.
Look at that shit. He's a sexy man.
I've been accused
I'm sorry,
of
your
being
beard's
Santa
like my
Claus,
dad was.
Yeah.
You got to keep it trimmed, otherwise it gets unruly.
It's unruly.
Oh, but you know what?
Way
You know what? It
keeps
does
me-
not
keeps
cut.
me warm though. I tell you what.
It does
Keeps
keep
him
you
warm,
warm,
and
right?
it does not cut down
Except-
on his aerodynamics when he's skiing.
When I was Friday night, I'm skiing out there in a blizzard. I came in and it was just ice. It's just
Oh, I have pictures of my dad's beard in his full snowsuit when he was snow blowing the driveway when I was a kid, and he's got icicles everywhere,
yeah.
all over the place. Just, I mean, like long. I'm like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, when we were
I mean, he's
building-
been out there half the morning, so it's like kind of okay.
When we built Dave's
But
house,
yeah,
I had
it's like that.
we worked through the winter on that project.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
worked through the winter, and there would we have 2 foot of snow, and it was negative 16 degrees.
Well, now it was at negative 16 degrees. We were on a hill across an open farm field. So the air compressed and the wind chill, I guarantee you, whatever they told us the wind chill was, you dropped
Add
it
a
by 10 to
few.
20 degrees.
Yeah, add a
It's
few.
fucking incredible. There were
Well,
days where
yeah,
we
I
got
had-
there
I
and I
had
was
a
like,
picture
I was like, boys, we're going home.
I have a picture
too
of
fucking cold.
my whole mustache. All of this was solid ice.
Right.
You know, everything around here.
Yeah.
And I had like a face
One of these
mask
days I'm
on
gonna have to find
most
that
of the
picture.
time, you know.
Yep.
We
And
kept
I
them
would take that
Carhartted
thing
up.
off, and it would just instantly freeze.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It was incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What's
Yeah.
it? What do you got?
Ridiculous.
Where does Trudeau admit this? Fucktard admit this?
Prime Minister invoking martial law was always about pursuing a vendetta, not protecting citizens during a, quote, national emergency.
Always about
Yes.
pursuing a vendetta.
He is completely and utterly usurping all of his power.
He's a fucking Klaus anal swab
in order to keep
acolyte.
control. He wants to keep control.
He's a
and
Klaus.
he's losing control, so he's flipping the shit.
you know something politically. If he backs down, he's finished.
Well, right now,
yeah.
what he's doing is he's got his hand on the chessboard and he's lifting it. But right now, he's only got 2 inches of lift on that chessboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He should
But
be. He
what
should be
he's
tipping
going
over his
for-
king.
Bam!
He should
No,
be tipping
we're done
o-
with the fucking game.
No, he should be
But when
tipping
he
over his
does
king.
that, that's when the military rolls in.
He doesn't even have a
do
fucking
that.
pawn that's close
He's
to the other
not
side
gonna
to getting
frickin' do that.
being redeemed as a queen. He doesn't have shit. He's a king running for his life on the far side of the board, and he's about ready to flip it because he can't win.
Let me ask you something, Trudeau. What laws are they breaking? Because you said they're breaking laws. Well, tell us what laws they're breaking. Because if you drive down the street and you get pulled over for whatever it may be, even if you're speeding, that is not a criminal act.
Yeah.
Okay? That is a citation at least.
So they're illegally parked, is what you're saying, and so that's.
Well, how many times do you drive down the highway and see a semi truck parked on the side of the road, and you know for a fact, oh, that guy had to stop and rest, because he's probably been driving for fucking 30 hours.
His hours.
Unless there is a legitimately posted sign, no parking here.
Yeah.
They can park there.
Typically, they park in like Walmart parking lots and
you go out to
some
California
Meijer parking lots, but
and you drive up A1A right through Malibu, one of the most beautiful places.
Yes,
and
it is.
Road A1A is lined with old, broken down RVs.
Nice.
Because people just pulled in with their last sip of gas, and this thing coughed and shit and crapped out right there, and they freaking live in it. And they're not moving because it's freaking paradise. And they don't have to pay anything to stay there.
Nope.
They're just, there.
Nope.
And nobody moves them out. So, and the people that actually own property there, they're paying unbelievably freaking high property taxes. But
It's
they got to look at
ridiculous.
this
You
shit.
don't want to know.
Yes.
You don't.
No. And that's okay. It's California. But
Hey, if you can afford it.
Well, no, I'm talking about the RV. It didn't cost them. It probably gave a guy $50 and a case of beer for the damn thing. Okay, and they drove it out there,
And they shared the beer.
Yes, they did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They shared it. I promise you.
So there they are on the side of the damn A1A.
Yep.
In Ottawa, it's it's a freaking crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they parked there.
Absolutely.
Well, he says. So I guess let me ask. Since when does invoking an emergency act mean that you can seize private citizens' bank accounts?
Never.
Since when does emergency act mean that you can go and steal property?
We know
just so you know.
All those cops that are taking the gas cans, they're stealing property.
Correct.
That is the crime.
Yeah,
and what he's doing is he's trying to flip it around.
This is not something that's contained to Canada. This happens all the time in the United States.
Right. Far beyond eminent domain.
Physician friends of mine who have said to me, okay, you pass your boards, you become a certified physician, they give you a white lab coat with a target on the back of it. I don't want to get too deep into some of the stories that I've had, but I've known of situations where the DEA and the FBI, you shut me off here, my friend.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe you don't want to hear from me anymore.
I can't hear myself.
Maybe I shouldn't say anything.
No, it's a little loud.
I want to hear myself say this.
They come in, simultaneously shut down all their clinics, raid, assault the homes of all the partners, and grab everything, even the kids' computers, everything, and take it all. And before they do that, they have the IRS close all assets, seize them. You got a bank accounts, they seize them. You don't have a frickin' penny, you don't have a credit card, you got nothing. Yeah. So how are you supposed to mount a defense? Because the IRS and the government, they've got it all. They've just taken it.
That's why the federal government has a 93% conviction rate.
Yeah.
I've got an idea. How about we seize Bill Gates' assets?
One situation that I can remember that I think was a real win, because this friend of mine who had a nice practice in Grand Rapids was courted by Spectrum to sell out to them and become a corporate employee. He didn't want to do that. He liked his practice. He was doing well. But all of a sudden, he started getting calls from some of his patients saying to him that, it was weird when I left your practice after our appointment. I was pulled over by 2 black SUVs, and guys got out in black suits, and they grilled me down about what it was I was doing at your office. Okay? Just wanted to let you know that. He became a little bit nervous about it.
A little bit jaded, a little bit
so
concerned.
He went to Spectrum and said, you know what? I think I'm going to take that offer. But in full disclosure, I want to let you know that this shit's going on. And I don't know why, because I run a legitimate practice here, but it's concerning to me. So I just thought I'd give that to you in case you wanted to back out. They said, hell no. No problem. Okay? They had their attorneys call the FBI and the DEA and say, hey, just want to let you know that Dr. XYZ, he's ours. If you got a problem with him, you got a problem with us. And you want to know something? We've got one hell of a nice legal team that will take you to a fucking mat with a lot of goddamn money to back it up. And this thing will play out in the press, okay? Right. If you want to go down that path, God bless, fucking bring it on. Otherwise, back off. That's what you have to have. They're not going to go after the big guns because the big guns are going to come back blazing at you. They go after the smaller doctor because he has no defense when they seize all of his assets. They can't do that to a Spectrum Health.
Yeah.
And I get a little passionate about it because I've had some good friends that are awesome freaking doctors that do a damn good job who've gotten fucked over by our government.
Our fucking
government. The same shit that Trudeau's trying to pull. Trump said it the other day. They were talking about how other countries kill people, and he said, if you don't think the United States doesn't do that, you're freaking living in a dream world. It happens.
They fucking they
happen.
murder all sorts of people.
It happens every goddamn day.
You know, so there's a lot of underhanded shit that goes on. And I guess that was my final thought.
So your final thought?
And my rant.
And your rant all in one.
Well,
go Patrick. Go Patrick.
That was very good.
But no, there's more to it.
Well, continue. I won't rack until you're ready.
On a smaller level, there are so many people that just want to fuck you over and take everything they can from you, steal from. Okay. 10 days ago, I turned 65.
Happy birthday, Patrick.
Happy birthday.
We had a great fucking party.
We did have a great party.
We did. Since that time, my phone has been blowing up to the tune of 4 to 5 phone calls a day of somebody trying to screw me over because they think I'm a retired senior citizen. That's what the fuck he's doing. And we can,
this is the U.S. Social Security Department. You need to call us because they're fraudulent on your account. Press 1 to talk to one of our agents. Yeah, right. You know. Yeah.
You think the
that
people making that call
I got
don't
the
get in
other
trouble?
day.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Red Wing?
I got a call the other day.
Do you remember that Detroit
they
Red
thought
Wing?
I had diabetes.
Do you remember that Detroit Red Wing player?
Diabetes.
Back when they had the Russian
Apparently
5.
They thought I was older
His name
than
was
I am.
Fuck
but
off.
Whatever. Like,
fuck off.
Take me off your list. Obviously, you're talking to the wrong person.
I'm gonna
go away.
Pass it over to fuck off.
But instead of our
pass it off to get the hell out of my face.
Instead of our DEA and the FBI coming after good, solid, upstanding American citizens who want to work hard and earn a good living, they pay a lot of money in taxes and they take care of the people that they work with and their patients and their customers, etc. Go after these fucks that are trying to steal shit from people.
Right.
Go after them.
Right.
Yeah,
but they don't know who they are, and if they do, then they don't care.
Why would they go after them when they're taking all their money?
Exactly.
Well, it's
they're
some
taking
guy,
a paycheck.
It's some guy out in Pakistan that's making these phone calls. It's not anybody here.
Yeah,
right.
And they never get in trouble.
No,
they don't ever.
Patrick did an epic rant tonight.
Yeah.
Who's ready? Tony or Vince?
Okay, I'm passing on the brain.
All right, unless you don't. Do you want to do a rant, or you?
Who's doing?
You want to do a final thought, or no? Give it to Vince.
I need a minute. Give it to Vince first.
Vince, did you have any
See
more?
if I can come up with.
While you're thinking about it, are you ready for your epic rant? I'm going to go to a final Reese report. This is Infowars. This is a Reese report. Let me pull it up properly. Reese report on band.video. I want to click to this. We're going to go ahead and... Shit.
Or not.
That's why individual rights and freedoms are so important, right? Because it's you as a person, you as an individual, not you as a family, not you as a group, okay? Not you as part of some other organization, not you as part of the province. It's you as an individual Canadian. Possess these rights. That's what's important.
After discussing with Cabinet and caucus, after consultation
Fidel's
with premiers from
bastard
all provinces and
shithead son.
territories,
I'll slap you in the
with
face.
opposition leaders, the federal
Grow
government
some pube hairs on your face. Fuck face.
invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement
Oh, you invoke?
provincial and territorial capacity
Fuck you.
to address the blockades and occupations.
Justin Trudeau has enacted the Emergency Powers Act against all who protest his dictates, including seizing people's bank accounts. Trudeau won't allow these Canadian citizens to have a life in their own country, nor will he allow them to leave. These are Canadian families celebrating together peacefully as they honorably protest their government.
Oh my God,
It is
look at
now
all that
evident
violence.
that Trudeau is
I know,
capable
right?
of
Bounce houses, motherfuckers.
Last
Violent.
Sunday at around 3 a.m., more than 2,000 firearms were stolen from a shipping lot in Peterborough, Ontario. A former sniper for the RCMP has announced that multiple sources have warned that Trudeau's government could be planting weapons in Ottawa to deceptively frame the Freedom Convoy as violent. And
That's the fucking key. Every time we expose the false flags, when we call out these fucking provocateurs, that's what diffuses that shit. And we gotta do it.
use it as a false pretext for violently ending the historic peaceful protest. While the truckers keep saying that their movement is a movement of the people and is non-political, certain suspicious individuals have stepped into leadership roles. BJ Dichter, a politician and co-founder of LGBT
BJ
Tory,
Dichter.
and
The fact that his last name is Dichter just makes me suspicious. You know, you can have any fucking last name you want, but the fact that your name is BJ Dichter. You're a blowjob Dichter? Is that what you're saying? You're BJ Dichter. You're a blowjob Dichter, and you moved in favor of the LGBT community.
Whatever.
I'm just gonna say, BJ Dichter in league with the LGBT is fucking suspicious as all get up. I mean, that's like a KKK guy saying, hate black people. That's my name. I'm hate. How you doing? Hate hyphen black people. That's the way you would be. BJ Dichter for the LGBT? Are you fucking kidding me?
and Tamara Leach of Wexit, who is funded by a sitting member of the Globalists Atlantic Council.
Oh, there's some
are the ones who
fabulous
set up
people.
and manage the GoFundMe page for the Freedom
totally.
Convoy. And former Liberal staffer for the Minister of Public Safety, Dagny Pollock, has recently been made part of the communications team.
Demon.
And people involved claim it's all a deceptive story.
Most people don't seem to know where these people came from, how they got involved, how they ended up controlling all of the money, why they're doing all of the speaking. These are political. These people aren't even truckers. Okay, BJ Dichter's not a trucker. This Dagny that was or Marco Mendocino's campaign manager, who's a sitting liberal politician right now, who called everyone terrorists the other day. And conveniently, these people seem to be holding a lot of keys somehow. If they have this media story, which is what it is, it's a story. The truckers have not agreed to this. Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody wants to go anywhere. That they've agreed to move or leave or something. The media will run with that, and then the government will use that as like, oh, well, look, see, they said they would, do one thing, and then they didn't, and they're, negotiating in bad faith and this kind of stuff. It's a setup.
Right. Reporting for
totally right.
It's a fucking setup, dude.
Yeah.
He said bad
It's
faith.
like January 6th.
Greg Reese.
Go with that.
Reporting for InfoWars is Greg Reese. I love the Reese report. Greg Reese is fucking phenomenal. But that's it right there. Look at you got somebody named. Come on, dude. BJ Dichter. How the fuck do you come? Listen,
Who names their kid that?
dude.
Seriously, come on.
Now, Grandma Connie
His
did
last
go to
name-
school with a
his last
boy.
name's Dichter.
Grandma Connie
the name
did
of
go to
BJ.
school with a boy, legitimately named Dickie Bone.
See, that's a lot cooler than BJ Dichter.
BJ
Well,
Dichter.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
So-
come on.
so
you can say,
I'm just saying.
So did,
come on.
hey, did BJ Dichter?
Hey, Dickster.
I guess BJ
What's going
Dichter.
on?
I want to hang out with my best bro.
How well?
BJ.
I would go. How well did BJ Dichter? Pretty
I was
well.
gonna say,
It's
you
pretty
know,
well.
my first choice
Well, that
for
depends
the
on how he swings.
for the best
Short, shriveled, and a
man
little to the
award.
left.
best video award goes
so
to
more TMI.
the man BJ
TMI.
Dichter.
Vince, you ready for your final thought? Give us a final thought. Patrick's
Can you cut me down a little bit here?
Are you too loud now? Which one are you
way
on?
too loud. I have no idea. You cut me off, and then you just blasted me out.
You should be E.
That was me.
Yeah, that's down a little more, thanks.
That's me. I'm empty.
Yeah, no, I'm still up there. Yep, still up there. Well, yeah, okay, I guess. No, that's me. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more. That's good.
What are you?
The whatever one you were doing before that.
That one?
I don't know. Somebody talk.
Somebody's got to fucking say
Somebody's got to talk besides me.
Yes, okay.
Okay, it's still a little high.
Luke, I am your
It's fine. Oh, now it's gone. It's gone.
So you are E.
Okay.
It's
You
either
said-
all or nothing.
Okay, now it's back. But don't turn it up any higher than that.
Okay.
It's either
Y'all
all
are
or-
like blaring at me.
You know, I meant to
It's like
label
either
this
blaring
shit.
or gone.
I was going to put the intern on it, and the intern fucking failed me.
Bubby,
You're the intern.
I am the intern.
you are the intern.
Because he wasn't Asian.
Because you're closest.
You know, we do need a good Asian intern. Vince, are you ready for a final thought? Now that I've fixed the audio headphones at the end of the fucking show?
I think I am ready. I have part of it that I remembered.
Go.
So, part of my final thought's going to be on technology.
Okay.
Because we had a long discussion about that.
Right, we did.
And just what I wanted to put out there is that
Whoops, I meant to hit that. That was a good intro, though.
Some awesome background music.
Part of our conversation tonight was around
but he didn't meant to do that. But he
I
kind
wrong?
of meant to do that. Or something like that.
You
I don't
Today
know.
on Alex Jones.
Welcome to live production.
So, as far as technology, what I believe
Seriously?
from my research,
How was that for a quick edit?
That's your dad.
That's your audio, buddy.
you gotta amp me up a lot, bro.
That's your dad. Just
All right, so
You're a
in my
daisy.
research,
You're a daisy if you do.
as far as technology in my research, I would say that the public masses on the earth are at least 100 years behind on technology and development of technology, because 150 years ago we had every component of that smartphone. It was already invented. It was already there.
Nikola Tesla.
The camera
Sitting
was
on a
there. The
shelf.
speaker was there. The screen was there. You know, maybe not so streamlined, but more or less, it was already there.
Dude, they had a fucking radio. They had radio-controlled machines.
They had, in the 1940s, they had vehicles that could levitate.
But now we just got to drive cars.
But they've had the population convinced that, oh, it's aliens from another planet. There's no possible way it can be from this planet because we don't have that technology yet. That's what they do. They go, They look at all the people going, what? And they go, oh, we have all the insider information. What?
What?
We know everything about everything that could possibly happen with technology.
We know everything about everything.
But what is that? Oh my God.
Concerned about this 5G technology. It's now bombarding everybody.
Yeah, so
that's demon.
That is my final thought is we are so far behind on technology that they have literally weaponized every single update to all the pieces of technology that we have now surrounding all of our lives. It's everywhere. There's no getting away from it.
It's Big Brother. It's the fact that they know exactly where you went, what restaurant you went to, what you ordered while you were there, if you farted at night or what.
Right.
I mean, it's like ridiculous.
You know, farting happens. That shit's crazy.
Shit happens.
But if you look at, let's just take Facebook, for example. Okay, everyone was on this little thing called MySpace.
Right?
Remember MySpace?
MySpace
Yes,
is so
I
old.
do. I used to have a MySpace page.
MySpace, for those
liked it better.
who don't know what MySpace is or was, you could make a page, you can make a profile, just like Facebook.
It was your space. It was called MySpace.
Except you could put your own themes on it. You could put your own videos on it and make them look all fancy, and like put them in frames on your page. You could
And
put
not get a copyright strike?
You could put music, so when people click it, they hear the music, and it was like your background. You
Right?
know?
It was your space.
And then everyone migrated to Facebook.
Face fags.
And MySpace died.
They're back now. You can do music on there.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
do
Everyone
know what you're saying.
migrated and went to Facebook, and now the whole time that Facebook's been on there, that it has been a platform.
Yeah.
What color was it?
What color was it?
Blue.
Okay.
The whole time.
MySpace?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook? Yeah. And? Blue check mark?
The whole thing was blue. You ever heard about blue light radiation?
Oh, he's getting into conspiracy theories now. That shit's not real.
Well, I'm just.
You're just saying?
I was just throwing that out there because I know there are companies that make glasses for
blue blockers,
blue light radiation.
Yeah.
And they're basically like they give you like a amber colored lens on your glasses, and it will cut out all the blue light. You know, so that you're not intaking that into your primal cortex. You know.
Wow.
So, anyways,
that was dramatic.
Facebook took this thing and they planned the obsolescence of the entire thing.
Who funded Facebook? I mean, it's just speculation. It might have been
DARPA,
CIA, and DARPA. Oh.
Defense Advanced Research.
You mean the robot-looking fucking Mark Zuckerberg was not as organic as they said?
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Weird.
That brings up another thing.
About
when you,
weird.
Because remember when I posted that thing about Mark Zuckerberg?
Zuckerbuck.
He was walking through the crowd and they all had VR headsets on.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Look at these stupid motherfuckers."
That was literally what he said.
The whole crowd had VR headsets on. Yeah. Everyone, except for this man and his security, and he's walking through like he thinks he's a fucking god.
And he looks like a fucking android. Doesn't he look like a fucking robot?
He looks like a geek.
I think he looks
He's worse than a
like
geek.
Data?
I've met some geeks. I'm like,
he looks like
this guy looks like he's fucking
he looks like a serial killer.
Geeks, it's Age of the Geek, baby.
Mark Zuckerbuck.
He's 100% serial killer.
But yeah, I don't know.
He's like,
Anyway,
dude, there's probably kids in his basement.
like, dude, you're not even.
that's
I don't
creepy.
speculate.
Don't say that. Come on, I don't want to think
Hey,
about that.
Which basement? You got to be clear about that.
I seriously don't want to think
He's got
about
500
that.
basements.
I don't know.
So not right.
We don't want to
What is it?
speculate.
He owns
We
half of
can't say
Hawaii.
definitively that Prince Andrew was tied to
Oh man, that
Epstein?
pissed me
Epstein and Ghislaine's. No, they said the fucking thing today on the news. Oh, Prince Andrew had to settle out of court with the girl with an undisclosed amount. He paid her fucking millions of dollars to shut up because he fucking molested her. Okay, raped her, probably did other unspeakable things. This ties back to the undisclosed Epstein. No. And they acted, and then the very next news report that they said acted like, and definitively, there's no way that this could have possibly happened. You just gave every fucking caveat you could to fucking Prince Andrew, but the next article, oh, there's absolutely no way that this would ever happen. This is definitively.
Oh,
It's like,
the
you know
next
what?
one was Russia, and they were like, Russia is massing troops on their border, and we're waiting to hear from officials about whether
Absolutely.
we're going to go to war because he's trying to push a war.
Yeah, absolutely massing troops on the border, but Prince Andrew was not. There's no direct link between him and Prince, between Epstein and the Epstein
but those claims are
island.
unsubstantiated.
What about Clinton?
Yeah. Oh, he only flew on the plane 21 times.
Yeah.
It's not like 22.
I thought it was 27.
22. Oh, 27?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was over the.
Well, come on.
What's the difference?
Anything above
that's
20
just on the plane
is a pedophile.
Now, where does that plane go?
Oh,
It goes to
God.
an island. Yeah. And what does that island have on it?
Young girls.
Young girls that they're molesting, raping, and torturing.
The main person who kept all that information was who?
Listen, we argue from ignorance.
Epstein had all the blackmail on everyone.
Everybody.
So they took him out.
Yeah.
The fallacy.
They said, we're taking your little black book and we're taking over your empire.
Yeah.
We're going to expand it.
Which one are you looking at?
Tonight's was the argument from ignorance. The fallacy that since we don't know, or can never know, or can't prove whether a claim is true or false, that it must be false or true.
All right, so I've got an example for that. John.
Lennon? MacArthur?
From
Neighbor?
The other John.
Huh?
Oh.
So the first time I met him,
non-celebrity.
You know, he likes to rant about government.
He does, and he does a lot of eyebrows. I
he-
got to tease him about his eyebrows. He's like,
well, my thing is like he's on point. But last time I was
He is on point, but
I was
he
like, dude,
does
we
a lot of
gotta
eyebrows.
fucking figure out what we can do about it. You know, it's one thing to sit here and yell about it, but we got to do something. You know.
What's the plan?
So one of the first times that we had political discussion, I said, "Wait a second.
Yeah.
You know, 9/11 was an inside job, right?" After after we discussed all these other conspiracies,
right?
You know, that are all now coming true. They were all true, based in
Got
fact.
echo.
So we talked for hours about all these other things, and I go, "Wait, you know, 9/11 was an inside job," and he goes, "Oh no." He goes, "I refuse to believe that. If my government's that bad, then it's way worse than I ever thought it could be."
What? John said
Then
that?
it's
Yeah.
way worse than you ever thought it
I'm
could
like, wait,
be.
they've recovered these buildings burned so hot that they disintegrated.
Well, see,
but they
I
found
didn't-
fucking passports of the 19 terrorists, 14 from Saudi Arabia, but we went into Afghanistan and Iraq.
And Libya.
14
It was planned.
And Kuwait.
from Saudi Arabia, but we went into
and remember
Afghanistan and Iraq.
Remember the immigration ban that Obama put in place that banned immigration from specific countries?
Oh, but that was
which
not
country
racist.
was not on that list?
Saudi Arabia.
They're considered a friend, right?
Right,
No,
right.
he-
We got
he banned all the people.
14 of our nationals, 14 friends from our nationalistic country we support, supposedly did 9/11. How about it was an inside job?
So that's what I'm saying, is that's where he was in his mind.
Inside job.
I cannot believe that because it's too evil for me to comprehend the complexity
That's the cognitive dissonance
of something being set up like that.
It's the same with, dude, it's that.
But I let him go on it, and
Yeah.
I didn't push it, and I didn't say, the jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough, or the steel beams don't do this or that. I let him go on it.
Did
I
you
said,
see the
you can
charges
think
going
whatever
off?
we agree on everything else. You can believe whatever you want to believe about 9/11.
Right.
Okay. Fast forward now, I've known him probably 4 years now.
He's like, "There's a fucking
Almost
inside
5
job."
years, and he goes, "Oh, I totally fucking believe it now." He's like, "There's no fucking way that just naturally happened, and human beings just took that upon themselves." No,
You know
that
why?
was completely set up from the start.
You know why? It's time makes more converts than reason.
Yeah.
Is that your final thought, Vince?
Technology is held back 100 years, and well, where I was going with that is go back to Tesla's time. Okay.
Nikola Tesla, not the fucking car.
If you can isolate the exact day that he produced electricity, transferred wireless electricity, the first day.
It's a fucking beast, dude. That guy was awesome.
Fast forward until, I mean,
He was way beyond his
time. Do we
time.
even have a wireless electricity source today?
No.
We do. It's not being utilized.
Exactly.
It's
being
a
held
dual
back because
answer.
Yes,
there's so
we
much
have it, but
regulation
no,
that you
we
can't
don't
do
have
it
it.
right. They regulated the hell out of it,
You can't build it right. You
He
can't
built
use the right materials.
He built
He wasn't going
Wardenclyffe.
to charge for it.
He had wireless fucking transmission of energy in Colorado. He went to New England and built Wardenclyffe. And Westinghouse, who was funding it, said, "Where can I put the fucking meter?" And he goes, "The fucking meter. This is free shit." And he goes, he shut it down. You just close it down.
Yeah.
This is free fucking.
He said because he
Tesla
told him
could
this
walk
would
over
replace every
10
one of
miles
your
away
power
and put a
stations.
fucking a post in the ground with a light bulb on it, and it would light up. He was just tapping into the ether. He talked about the ether.
He said,
the energy.
He said he could run the entire U.S. off of less than 20 towers.
Dude, I watched
wireless.
I threw on tonight before the show was going. I threw on Twister, right?
But you know what? Edison brought out a fucking baby elephant, dogs, all kinds of shit, monkeys,
fucking electrocuted
them
Oh,
like
that
a
ain't
fucking
right.
with
Come on.
direct current.
Come on.
No,
Okay.
he electrocuted him with alternating current to prove that alternating current was bad, and his
Yes,
direct
but
current was better.
But it was running through a direct current line. It was alternating current generating
right
the electricity.
Right.
But he directly ran it into the animal.
Correct. Because the reality is, whether it's DC or AC, it's amperage.
If it was that dangerous,
ampere that kills you, not voltage.
If it was that dangerous, then why did Tesla have them in his workshop?
Tesla would
And
stand in front of it.
He would sit in his chair and write in his book for hours with this fucking huge tower shooting electrical bolts, fucking lightning all over the room. But
Because he would do the coils around him at 12, 14, 15,000 volts. But it was microamps. Didn't fucking matter. You got to study technology. You're exactly right. Is that it?
Remember that video that you watched? one more thing.
He fucking loves
No,
Tesla.
you just
He
keep
loves fucking Tesla.
You keep bringing shit up. Remember the video we watched when we were up north?
Yeah.
And they showed that video.
It's my boy.
Of moving sidewalks from, what was that, the 1920s? They had fucking conveyor sidewalks that would move along the road.
Yeah.
In the 20s. It was all the old black and white film grain, and people they'd walk on just like an escalator.
Yeah. Well, you have them in airports too. Yeah.
But it was like a city street with sidewalks.
Yeah.
And they just get on and go. Like, what the fuck ever happened to that shit?
Well, it got suppressed. What do you call a broken escalator? Stairs.
No, the joke is I love escalators because escalators don't really ever break down. It just becomes stairs.
I like that comedian. He's good.
It's good for cardio.
That guy's good. We gotta pull some shit
Shut the hell
up.
up and climb the damn stairs. Stop being lazy.
Escalators
Just saying.
you don't ever see it out of
Just
order.
saying.
You just see it has become stairs now. Are you done?
Stairs never hurt nobody.
Congratulations. Now you have to
They
work
didn't.
harder.
I'm sorry. They never hurt nobody.
No.
It
I
builds
love
your
that guy.
butt muscles. Get over
Congratulations. Give
Now
me that
you-
fucking brain.
Now you have to take steps.
Now you have to take the steps.
You do your brain part?
Are you gonna do a rule up? She's good.
No.
You good?
No. One of my final thoughts would just be to thank Tom for dinner again.
That's good.
He told me that he brought the kebabs.
kebabs,
Because he
kebabs.
forgot people were bringing chili for the
So chili cook-off. I sent him the
And
flyer.
I told him, he's like, yeah, I know that now. I'm like, well, it's because you're here and you see it. So thanks, Tom, for dinner. But
Hey, there was
otherwise,
plenty of chili.
That was
on-
good.
on Sunday
There was
night.
plenty of chili.
That was
good
really
stuff.
good.
Where'd my blue
So-
pen go?
You like
So,
that?
but it's in my
You like that
hand.
cursive
Yeah,
right
fucking
there?
blue pen. Did you already sign? You already signed.
You like that cursive?
I do like that cursive. Taylor,
I
you know what? You
I
were
like
taught
the
cursive.
number 1 chili, and I like the number 4 chili.
the number 4 chinny was venison.
I thought number 4 was
venison.
very.
You know
it
what?
had a high amount of sodium.
Yeah.
See, I
And
kind of
that's
thought
the
they
only
all
reason
did,
I didn't
but
vote for it because
I
it was
kinda thought they
it
all
tasted
did,
really
but-
salty.
Yeah. Sometimes the saltiness, though. Hey, Bubby.
It was still good though. I ate all 4 of them.
Bubby, still doing the
and
show, buddy.
enjoyed all of them.
No tapping.
Yeah. I like
I didn't put anything in to mix in until after I tried them all plain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I thought the one that won, the number 2, which became number 1, wasn't really that good. It was just different.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't
know.
I voted 3 as number 1, and I voted 1 as number 2.
Yeah.
So confused.
I like
because number 3 had the maple syrup in it.
3 was sweet.
Yeah.
You know what?
I
Next
know
year,
number 1 was 1, but I don't remember.
next year I'm going to do A through whatever.
Oh God.
Whoever
killing
made
me.
number 3, they put maple syrup in
I'm just going to say, because I thought chili A was number 1.
Yeah.
Because if we say I thought number 2 was number 1.
Well,
Well, if
Now
you
you're
think
just
of number
confusing
2
me,
as number
quit it.
1, then you drank too much milk of magnesia, and you're flowing a
No,
little
they had too
Number
much.
2.
No, they had too much
Number 1.
tequila or vodka or whatever
Yeah.
the hell they were drinking that night.
Number 2 defends number 1 when number 1 can no longer defend number 2.
So
we defend it all.
my final thought tonight.
Defend each other.
Don't argue from ignorance. I say it over and over again on the show, and I say it for a reason. Do your own research. Figure out what's going on around you. Get your own information. If you don't do your own research and you succumb to the bullshit
Put that
around you,
brain up there.
that's your own fucking fault. Oh, I'm sorry. Figure out your own.
Almost called you a poser.
Dude, come on. Argument from ignorance. If you dismiss stuff because you don't have all the fucking facts that back up everything, then you're not questioning anything. You should be questioning things. I question everything. I have very strong, firmly held beliefs and ideologies and understandings and concepts and thought processes. Okay? And I challenge all of it. Before I make a statement, I go, is that a good statement to make? Should I challenge it? There are other people around me I know, good, well-meaning, good intentioned, love you all to death, or life, or however the fuck you want to say it. And you will say shit, and it'll come out of your mouth. I got a buddy right now. He'll say shit, post it on the fucking Facebook, and I go, dude, what the fuck? I'll respond likely, and I'll go, dude, are you serious? Well, yeah. And I'll go, yeah, you really shouldn't hold that position until you have all the facts. You know? Here's the facts. Here's the thing. An argument from ignorance is you don't have to have all the facts to be skeptical. But you do have you do have to have all the facts to be absolutely dogmatic in your beliefs. And even when you have all the facts and are dogmatic in your beliefs, you need to leave room for new information to come in.
Skepticism.
A healthy skepticism. I don't know who said that, but I know there's a quote out there that says
Somewhere.
a healthy skepticism is good.
It's good medicine.
It's good to have a healthy skepticism to go, yeah, you know what? You
maybe.
presented all the facts,
Maybe.
but I'm not going to buy into it. But at the same time, I'm not going to dismiss it. Don't dismiss it. I'll leave you this final quote. It is the mark, Aristotle, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without embracing it. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without embracing it. Can you entertain a thought, a concept, an idea? Not embrace it, but at least entertain it. At least, what does it mean to entertain? We entertain here all the time at the man cave. Okay? That fucking
It means
water.
to ponder. It means to think it over, mull it over. Think about
But
it
what
from
we
all
do, what we
aspects.
do is we entertain here at the man cave. We enjoy things, okay?
Same thing.
Just because I entertain multitudes of people, most are friends, but we get new people now and then. I'll entertain you, even though I may not agree with you, or think that you're right. But I'm gonna hang out with you.
At a certain point, sometimes you gotta. I mean, it hasn't happened recently, but
I mean, they
there are a
walk
couple
in and they
times
see
where
the
you
Trump
had to,
signs. It's like, and Trump just represents an idea. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Trump, Red Wings, and Star Wars. If you don't get on board, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you see any Star Trek signs up here? No, the fuck off, right? I like Star Trek. Well, we've got some Star Trek stuff. It's all good. But either way,
It's in the house.
it's the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain an idea
Without embracing.
without embracing it. You don't have to embrace it, but entertain it. If I say the moon landings
Think
were
about
false, don't dismiss it.
Okay.
Just think about it for a minute. If I say the Earth is flat, don't go, no, it's fucking round. You've never fucking seen it. You've ever been
Do
up
you
in a
know?
spaceship?
No.
You ever been up in? No. Have you done this?
Like to.
No. I don't want to. Listen. The reason I entertained the idea is because I went, you know what? Wait a minute. Oh shit.
Is it?
Because you say to yourself,
You just talked about.
oh man, what if?
You just said.
What if it is?
You had somebody who was all about going, this is a fucking government conspiracy. This is a fucking government conspiracy. You go, 9/11. They go, no, there's no way the government could have been ever. I go, what? You just fucking said that this
three
is.
other things that the government could have been
Listen,
involved
it's an
in.
absolute fact.
It's not.
It's an absolute provable
Not that
fact
far-fetched.
that the Gulf of Tonkin incident was a staged fucking event to get us into war with Vietnam. Absolutely fucking. It never fucking happened. The Gulf of Tonkin event never happened when they said that we were bombed. It never fucking happened. We know that now. It's been disclosed, okay? You're going to find out that in the coming years that JFK was fucking murdered by the CIA and other nefarious groups involved in that to keep him from destroying the
CIA.
Well, the CIA, but also the Federal Reserve. Okay? You're going to find that shit out. And when you find that shit out, verbatim, will you come over to the other side? Because those of us who go, you know what? I'm going to entertain that idea. I'm not going to fully embrace it. Well, I fully embrace it because I know what's fucking going on. But I'm saying there's ideas out there that you need to at least entertain. Because there's some truth. There's some elements of life in there. And you go, wait a minute. Were there weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? Oh no? There weren't any weapons? But that was the whole fucking reason to go in there. And the justification was 9/11, which had nothing to do with fucking Iraq. But now, what the fuck? We're still in Afghanistan until Biden withdraws with leaving billions of dollars of fucking stuff there. This is my brain. I'm Jeremy Scott Gibbs, Patrick Acton, Tanya Gibbs, Taylor Vincent Gibbs. What?
We gotta go fix a water pump.
I gotta fix that fucking water.
My freezer is making ice. Leave it alone and let it do its job.
Gotta go smoke some. I'd say it's.
Just go do what you need to do, but leave my freezer alone.
That's a lot of water it's pumping. It doesn't take that much.
It's actually not doing anything. It's got a bubble in it.
That's right.
Mine was empty.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It needs
I had to
be
use yours
dealt with.
again.
And there we go. This is my brain.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace out. Love y'all.
Night all.
We'll see you next week. And Lord willing, Man Cave Makers, check that out. Like and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe on here.
Next week is Irish Whiskey Week.
It is, and we were already picked out, and I took the picture today.
Whiskey.
We're gonna fucking tear it up. So we'll talk to you guys soon, and we'll see you next time.
Night all.
You've been sucking at it all night.
That's right. I'm ready for more.
So you'll be ready to give your 2 cents on that one for sure.
Yes, I will.
Indeed.
Yep, I think it's beyond making ice. I think it's just sucking air.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it's doing now.
Yeah, so I got a
been
buddy who
making ice, but
I went over to Matt's one day and my buddy's there and I haven't seen him in years. I'm like, hey, what's up?